everybody, welcome to day number 2 of Activision Blizzard Media's first esports tournament, the Agency Showdown. Again, if you didn't join us for day 1 of the action, this is a little tournament for everybody in Activision Blizzard Media's, the client agencies, to basically have a fun and exciting way for everybody to connect, even though we can't do so in person in these times. This, of course, is, I guess, a nice way for everybody to have a little bit of fun and be sociable from a distance. If you, again, weren't here yesterday, my name is Infinity. I'll be your guide for the next couple of weeks of action as we get through this bracket of agencies. This is going to be played on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It is a bracket of 32 teams of 3. It's a 3v3 format here. It's chosen at random from over 20 agencies. Now, again, I did say it yesterday, but I'll say it again. We had an incredible response from all the agencies here who want to participate in the tournament. So thank you to everybody for basically participating here. It was already epic with everything that happened on day 1. But for the winners, there is a really nice trophy to be handed out too. So there is that to work with. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with the style, of course, we're going with here. This is a Modern Warfare tournament. We'll be competing in a single elimination bracket. And as I said already, there is 32 teams here competing. The game mode in which is being played is, again, one of the classics of Call of Duty. It is Search and Destroy in every best of 3 matchup. Search and Destroy, of course, is a very, very basic game mode to understand. You have your offense and you have your defense. The offense, their job is to take a bomb and plant it on one of 2 sites, A or B. They have 2 minutes in every single round to do so. Of course, the defensive job in every round is therefore to stop that bomb from being planted. Of course, each round can also be won by eliminating the opposition. Of course, there are no respawns in every round of Search and Destroy. It is the first to 6 rounds in every single S&D map, and as I said already, we are playing best of 3 here. So you win 2 maps, you win the series, and you move on in our bracket. So that's Search and Destroy, and that is what you guys should be looking for. And I will also, throughout the day, be talking about the strategies, a little bit of what we call a meta, what guns and sort of strategies people are going to be using throughout the night as we go through the 6 maps that we do have here in our selection. And of course, guys, if you do want to subscribe to Activision Blizzard Media's YouTube channel, you can do so. You can click the bell and you can get all of the notifications for when we do go live on this channel. And moreover, as well, you can follow along with all the action on Twitter with the hashtag Agency Showdown and talk about all the action that is happening. And again, with week 1 here, we are just getting through this round of 32. So we're going through 16 matches over the course of week 1. And we do actually have 5 matches tonight to go through, of course, and I'll be going through them. But first up is going to be Flickr versus the Mindshare Battlers. This is going to be an interesting match. Now, again, I said it yesterday, but there is also some very creative names in this tournament. That much I will say. Incredible names to go with. Yesterday, we had some great ones. The Akimbros was my favorite, I won't lie. And actually, they ended up going through. I'll just quickly say that the teams that actually ended up winning yesterday. We have the off patterns. They're already through to round 2. We tried, and they are through as well. Agency Life, and finally we do have the Inner Circle, who won a very, very close affair in that last matchup yesterday. Of course, though, 5 matches to get through tonight, and I think without any further ado, it's time to get into our first match of the evening. Again, it is going to be Flickr versus the Mindshare Battlers. Again, rather creative names. And the first map in which we'll be playing is Talsic Backlog. Now, as I said yesterday, there is going to be a map selection here of 6 different maps from across the Call of Duty franchise. And as we get into each one, I'll briefly describe their importance, I guess, to the Call of Duty franchise as a whole. Out of the map selection we've actually got here in the Activision Blizzard Media Agency Showdown, Talsic Backlot is actually, I think, probably the most storied of them all. Again, it's a remaster of a very old map from Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare game from 2007. And it is a very, very fun map. Let that much be clear. So without any further ado, let's get right into the action. Round number 1 here. It is going to be Flickr on the offense. Now, as we discovered yesterday, it is going to be 3 rounds straight before Flickr and Mindshare Battlers switch sides, and Mindshare Battlers become the team on the offense. For now, though, it is going to be Flickr moving this bomb towards the B site, and as I always do, I'm going to take a look at the weapons people are using, and so far, pretty standard stuff, at least for Flickr. Redrum is actually using an AK-47, which is not in what we call the competitive Call of Duty meta, but regardless, it is going to be used here. Mindshare Battlers On the other hand, you have an AUG from Moose, Eclipse 6, using MP5. Bag of Polar Bears knows what's up. He's got an M4A1. 1 minute has already surpassed in this round, though, right off the start. Seems to be a very slow approach here from Flickr. They want to make sure they get this bomb down without taking any losses. And they could do this. They make their way towards the A site. Rejump has the bomb in hand, finally going for the plant here. And elsewhere, Bag of Polar Bears coming right at Thinking One. And this is why I love this tournament. Bag of Polar Bears, what a name. An entire bag of Polar Bears. Taking out one of the Flickr boys. For 2 now, looking for the kill. Unfortunately, unable to get it. And this retake looking spicy for Mindshare battlers here. All down to Chet McSteel. And if that's their actual name, that's a very cool name. But 1 versus 3. For Chet McSteel. Has to stop this defuse. It's not going to happen. Moose is already on it. And Eclipse 6 going to be there for the defense of that defuse. And Mindshare battlers end up taking round number 1. It's a great retake. And again, Flickr, I think they actually, to be fair, did a great job of defending that bomb site for at least a solid 20 seconds. But there's 45 seconds that you have to defend the bomb site for. Now, though, we're here. Round number 2, Mindshare battlers straight back on the defense. And Thinking One cooks a nade, throws it right back at himself. Not entirely sure why, but regardless, Flickr going to roll with it, going to roll with the punches because they're getting the bomb down over at A once again. Now, Mindshare battlers, they were successful at retaking this site previously. Can they do it again? That is the question. Of course, the one player, the advanced guard here, rejump for 2. What can they do? You know, the first kill, actually going to get it, unfortunately for them. Chet McSteel is also out of the round. Rejump for 2 here, going to go for the kill. Can actually turn on this last player. This would be an insane play. Actually just going to back away from the fight, but Eclipse 6 is having none of it. Jumps out. Beautiful shots from this man. 3-0 start from Eclipse 6 here. Mindshare battlers get their 2nd round straight and 2nd retake on the very same site too. You've got to love the confidence from Flickr. And I will say one thing for sure is that despite losing a player, even with 1 player down, they still go for that bomb plant pretty confidently. That being said, Flickr's last round now on the offense. Straight towards A they go, and it is the favoured bomb site here. On Tausig backlot. Thinking One, the only player actually still over at A. You can see this rotation through the mid-map for Flickr. It's not working out for Thinking One here. Bag of Polar Bears. Actually going to do some serious damage to Flickr's hopes and dreams here in this round. Picks up 2 important kills. Now rejump for 2 in a 1 versus 3 scenario. Has already picked up 1 of those kills. Actually going to get rushed by Eclipse 6. And a great start here for Mindshare battlers. They look very, very good on their defense. A flawless defensive performance right off the start. 3 rounds straight. No response from Flickr. And that MP5, that is king. That much I can tell you, of course. It is in the competitive rotations, in the competitive meta alongside the M4A1. It is what the pros use, and you can watch that action if you so wish. Call of Duty League. It's live essentially every 2 weeks now, and I think there's actually an event upcoming this weekend as well. So if you guys do want to check out the pros, that's the place to do it. And trust me, the gameplay you get to see there, it is spicy. Regardless, Flickr now going to have to emulate some of that pro action here. They're 3-0 down in the search and destroy against Mindshare battlers, and that's not the best start on the retake. Bag of Polar Bears, who has been stellar so far, picks up the first kill once again, returns with a second. And I think actually just Mindshare battlers going to close out the round rather quickly. And again, there is a real rush you feel from Mindshare battlers. It's something I feel like maybe Flickr just don't have right now. Mindshare battlers, they seem very assertive in what they're doing. They get the bomb down on A. No qualms. Now Flickr, they need to find something. They definitely need to put the first foot forward soon. They're already 4-0 down in this search and destroy. Maybe this is it. Rejump for 2. Pops dead silence, of course. That is special ability. I don't think anything's really going to come of it. No value to be found in that. Elsewhere, Moose takes down Chet McSteel. Thinking 1 down 2, and that's rejump for 2 left up here. Could have gone for the elimination. Oh, slaps down a bag of polar bears behind. Would have been nice to see an execution hit in this game, but unfortunately not going to happen. Moose finishes things off here for the Mindshare's battlers, and I think we might just be about to have our first 6-0 clean sweep in the Agency Showdown. Mindshare's battlers now looking to do exactly as I said, to get a clean sweep. They don't win on this round, we switch sides once again. Every 3 rounds, remember. Flip 6 with bomb in hand. Now, I guess how this does play into Flickr's advantage is that they are defending this B bomb site. They put a lot of resources into it. 2 players over there. One of them is Chet McSteel, who is looking for their first kill of the game and not going to find it. 0-6 for Chet McSteel, and that might just be how they finish map number 1 here. Portable radar coming out from Mindshare battles that will enable 1 player at the very least to see what's going on their mini-map, where the locations of the Flickr players around them are. Thinking 1, taking some shots, not going to connect with anything. Unfortunately for them, Moose takes them down. Now it's under rejump for 2 here, 1 versus 3. A clutch necessary for the only player on Flickr who has picked up any kills. First is lined up. Unfortunately for them, it's not going to happen. There we go. Eclipse down. Makes Eclipse die for the first time in this game, but they do have to be wary here. They've only got 30 seconds left on the clock. This is still all to play for rejump for 2. They just need to get this first kill. Pre-aiming. No, unfortunately for them, Moose gets the better. A rejump for 2. And Mindshare battlers with a flawless performance on map number 1 here. 6-0 victory. Moose, you're going to see in your final kill cam, closes out the game. Reaction's just a little bit better. And also, I will say weaponry just a little bit better as well. MP5, of course, the submachine gun, the best SMG in the game. Objectively, by the way, there's no subjectiveness here. If anyone's going to argue and say the MP7's better, it's not. It's just not. But, of course, the MP5, the best weaponry for that scenario. Maybe if you had a shotgun, you might be better off. But unfortunately, of course, M4A1 not going to work out in that scenario. So, great stuff there from the Mindshare battlers. They have battled very, very well in map number 1 and a 6-0 start, as I said. That is a flawless performance and very, very well played from the Mindshare battlers. But maybe the Flickr team, maybe they have some fighting experience. Maybe they have some fighting talk coming on here because, of course, you know, that's going to feel pretty hard being 6-0'd right off the start. And I've no doubt that they'll bounce back here in map number 2. Map number 2, of course, is going to be Gunrunner, Search and Destroy. Now, again, if you weren't here yesterday, you didn't get to see any of the action yesterday, and as I went through all of the maps in the rotation that we do have here in the map selection, Gunrunner is a competitive Call of Duty map, and that means that I have seen a ton of this map. I've seen it played every way round you could possibly imagine, upside down. I mean, every single strategy that is probably possible on this map, I've seen it. And generally speaking, this is a very, very one-sided map. So again, in Search and Destroy, you have the 2 sites. You have the A site and the B site, where the offense are going to take the bomb. On this map in particular, it is the B site that is favored. It is closer to the spawn, and that is where you guys will see a lot more offensive attacks here. Again, I mean, this is on the presumption that these guys will know that is the preferred bomb site and it is the better bomb site to plant on. So, as we get into the map, again, it is going to be Gunrunner, Search and Destroy. And for all of you fans of the Call of Duty League at home, you will have seen this map quite a lot. It is personally one of my favorite maps in the game. Again, in the competitive rotation at the very least, where you have hardpoint and domination there too. This is one of the only maps in the Call of Duty League rule set that you play on all 3 game modes. Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, domination. That's just how good this map is. That being said, we're going to get right into the action now. Of course, Gunrunner, Search and Destroy for map number 2. Mindshare battlers have started this series very strongly with their 6-0 performance on Talsic backlot. Now Flickr looking to respond accordingly. Straight towards the A-bomb site. Never mind what I said before this started. B, I said was preferable. Eclipse 6, though, punishes Thinking 1 and Chet McSteel for moving towards the A-bomb site, and now just rejump for 2 with a sniper rifle in spawn. Maybe could catch Moose off guard here, but unfortunately for them, oh, rejump for 2 goes for the 1-2 punch. slaps down Moose. Still, though, incredibly weak. Sticks that Claymore down. Sensor grenade going out from Mindshare's Battle of the Snapshot grenade, sorry. From Pack of Polar Bears. Just going to reveal the location momentarily for Rejump for 2. This is still possible. Rejump for 2 with a 725 in hand. Gets that second kill. And I like this setup that Rejump for 2 has on him. Shotgun and a sniper rifle. Perfect for all ranges. And Eclipse just going to back off here. One of these two players is going to start this search and destroy with what we call an ace, where you get every single kill available to you. Eclipse turns around at the right time. Rejump for 2 doesn't react fast enough. Just doesn't see Eclipse at the top of the stairs. Good reactions from Eclipse to just get the kill straight away. Now look, Flickr once again. They started on offense in game number 1. Starting on offense here in game number 2. They have lost their first offensive round, and this is actually an offensively decided map. So, technically speaking, if you are on offense, you should technically be favoured. Mindshare Battlers, though, they're not putting the first foot forward in this round, and I kind of like this from the Mindshare Battlers. They're not getting overzealous. They're just playing this one slow, methodical, and as I say that, that goes right out the window because Moose is coming in for the long flank. Doesn't have Dead Silence equipped, so surely could be heard here. And oh my god, if he turns on this player, this could be a bad thing. King 1, though, gets the kill. And now it's down to Bag of Polar Bears in a 1 versus 3. I suppose, again, the one advantage that Bag of Polar Bears does have in this scenario is that it is Flickr that need to put the first foot forward. I think Bag of Polar Bears may have just been spotted out. Dead Silence has now been popped for Bag of Polar Bears. Reveals his position, though, by shooting down that Claymore. Not sure if that was the right call to make, but regardless, I don't think Flickr are wise to it. Bag of Polar Bears' location still hidden here. And if they play this right, they could stop the bomb plant or just line up 2 kills. Well, that's another way to do it. And they've put this 1 versus 3 down to 1 versus 1. May have just seen Thinking 1. Bag of Polar Bears goes for the kill, but Thinking 1 has their number. And Flickr find their first round here across both maps. The MP5 no less. And this is why this gun is in the competitive rotation. This is why the professional Call of Duty League players use it. Because the MP5 is deadly. Even at long ranges, that submachine gun can rip. Flickr. Now though, once again, on the offense, they've done a great job of winning the prior round. That was pretty much mostly down to Thinking 1, but Mindshare Battlers now going to employ a streak. Eclipse is going to have that portable radar ahead. Does just expire as I say it, so that and the information gain now has essentially depleted. Rejump for 2, starting things strong. Sniper onto Moose, but there is a trade. Both Bag of Polar Bears takes out Chet McSteel. Now Eclipse with Dead Silence pops coming around for a flank, looking for that first kill, finds it. No trade coming in, and Rejump for 2 now in a 1 versus 2 gets pushed. And the aggression from Mindshare Battlers, they looked a very much short roster there in that game. Polar Bears going to close up shop there in round number 3. Now, though, as we said, remember, every 3 rounds, these teams are going to switch from offense to defense. Here you're going to see it. Flickr now on the defense. Let's see how good they are. They do have 1 player towards A. Rejump for 2 has seen success with this sniper rifle previously. Gonna have to find it again. Oh, snaps onto Moose. See you later. Rejump for 2 has work to do still, though. Bag of Polar Bears gonna apply some pressure. Takes out Chet McSteel. Claymore for Rejump for 2 is down. Bag of Polar Bears, though, shoots under the door. Rejump for 2 actually gonna get away with their life. But for a second of that drop might have caused some issues for Rejump for 2, but unfortunately for Mindshare Battlers, not to be the case. Now Rejump for 2, 725 in hand, has to pull off the 1 versus 2, gets the first kill. Eclipse planting bomb is caught off guard, and now it's down a Bag of Polar Bears in a 1 versus 2. 1 versus 1, sorry. Got to find their second kill of the round. Could have just go for this plant. Of course, that is absolutely an option. Get some progress made, but unsure to get this plant. Rejump for 2 absolutely has Bag of Polar Bears shaken here in this one. Finally, the bomb is down. Rejump for 2, if they're smart, it's just going to go straight for this push. They do, and the 725, much better, especially at a close range like that. That is what shotguns are for. Let me tell you, Bag of Polar Bears definitely felt that one. Flickr tied this game up, and again, Flickr looks so much better here on this map. Maybe it was backlog. Maybe that was just a problem for Flickr because they do look so much better. Of course, Gunrunner again being in the Call of Duty League rotation. Maybe Flickr are just CDL players. Maybe they play the ranked play mode in the game. Flickr though, looking to gain an advantage early on this one. Once again, Rejump for 2, who has been the most deadly player on Flickr across both backlot and now here on Gunrunner. Pushes into the office area, gets caught off guard though. Bag of Polar Bears coming through the vents, picks up the kill. And now Mindshare Battlers have a man advantage here on the map. Of course, map advantage 2. Eclipse6 takes down Thinking 1. And now Chet McSteel, who has had a 1-4 start in this game. 1 kill, 4 deaths. Looking to pull off a 1 versus 3. This is definitely even the odds. First shots go down. Chet McSteel actually going to finish the first kill. Nade coming out for the second. And unfortunately for him, I feel like Moose is going to come around. And both players have got to reload their weapon. Chet McSteel going to pull the sniper rifle out. I mean, he's got some big brass ones, but unfortunately, not going to come out to anything in that scenario. Sniper rifle potentially not the best play. Moose's MP7 going to get the better, of course. And at that range, it absolutely would do. It's the right play to make. Well, Mindshare Battlers passed their first test here. Now tested once again. Final round on offense. Mindshare Battlers looking to gain a 2-round advantage over Flickr. Need to get their kills to do so. Bag of Polar Bears now. Oh, so unfortunate for Chet McSteel. Bag of Polar Bears knows exactly where to check. Dead silence enabled. Picks up the first kill. Elsewhere, you see Moose taking a fight onto Rejump for 2, and it's now down to Thinking 1. Another 1 versus 3 for Flickr. First kill is made, though. This is still possible. Moose now going to challenge for the second. Thinking wants to catch him off guard, and neither will. Now Thinking guard. 1 versus 1 here. Eclipse surely has just been heard. Thinking 1 has dead silence, pops it for the silence and opens the door. Again, not the right situation. And we kind of saw this yesterday as well. The teams in this tournament, I feel like maybe underestimating how loud doors actually are in this game. You open one up full speed and the opposition is going to hear that, especially in a 1 versus 1. Pop dead silence too in that one. Right at the start here, Rejump for 2. With bomb in hand, Flickr looking to take it towards the B site. Bag of Potatoes gets his head taken off by Rejump for 2. Great start from Flickr. Mindshare Battlers. Now looking to even the odds. It's not going to happen. Eclipse6. This is how you open a door. Very slowly. Gets the first kill. Gets away with their life as well. High alert. The perk is going to alert Eclipse6 to the fact that Chet McSteel was looking right at him. Tracker 2 is going to show him the path of where Chet McSteel is going. And there it is, the kill onto Eclipse6, the stim as well. And that means Eclipse6 is going to be ready for Rejump for 2 in this one-on-one engagement. Rejump, they've taken the fight. Jay's the pre-aim and gets the kill. Tracker is going to help them out so much. And that is why Tracker is incredibly powerful. You can see there the trail of footprints left behind. Rejump for 2 saw it as well. For those of you unaware, that is what Tracker does as a perk. You saw great utilization of both High Alert and Tracker there. Perk 2 and Perk 3 perk, respectively. And now Mindshare Battle is hit. On the defense. Flickr seems to be aiming towards this A site. Redrum for 2. Inside the office. Has backup on its way from Chet McSteel. Redrum for 2. Earns dead silence. Pops it straight away. How have they not spotted out a player sitting inside? Somehow, Redrum actually ends up winning that fight. Snapshot grenade gets sent out. Redrum has been caught in it, but I think any information that would have been gained by that snapshot grenade, I think, to be honest, Clip6 already had. Clip6 putting some shots down. This silenced MP5, and once again, the tracker footprints going to reveal the location of one player. Clip6 now surely going to be looking for this kill. Not fast enough, though. Not before thinking one can get the kill onto Moose. And Clip6 actually puts those shots down. Doesn't finish that kill until too late. Unfortunately now, for a Clip6, once again in a 1 versus 3. Couldn't pull off the last one. Got 2 kills, then fell. Now might just fall to a player that's up top on the train. Just going to run around here. Clip6 trying to dip and dive between the players. Sees one player, but unfortunately gets caught in a Flickr sandwich. And again, that is so hard to win, especially when Redrum for 2 is positioned on top of the train. Chet McSteel essentially just bait. Absolutely took that one, hook, line, and sinker. Now the Mindshare Battlers back on the defense. Once again, we'll see what they're able to do. Clip6 moving towards this A site, going to get straight into a gunfight with Chet McSteel. I think Clip6 may have just spotted it out, throws a nade their way. Unfortunately for Clip6, Chet McSteel isn't really afflicted by any nade sent. Instead, it is actually going to be Moose who comes swinging in with the MP7 to take down Chet McSteel. But that's all just a ruse. As a matter of fact, the B site is where all the action is going down. Redrum for 2 and thinking one. Successfully able to get the bomb down. Completely uncontested. However, this is a bit of a rough situation for thinking one. Has to pull off a 1 versus 3, defend the bomb, and it's just not going to happen. Great retake from Mindshare Battlers. Moose runs out into the unaware into the open. Picks up the kill. Bag of Polar Bear's going to close out the round. Revenge for that kill onto Moose. And now it is going to be the Mindshare Battlers here. Just 1 round away from taking the series 2-0 and advancing on to the round of 16. Remember, this is single elimination. You lose a match, you are done and dusted. Out of the tournament. Mindshare Battlers looking to close this round out, but Redrum for 2 once again in this power position on top vents. And let me tell you, this is a power position. This is a very common place for defensive players to go, even in the Call of Duty League. Redrum for 2 gets the first kill there. Actually going to be the 725 that does it. Plants a claymore for the second. It's just going to catch Moose off guard. That's so unfortunate, but it doesn't matter. It's Bag of Polar Bears now. Let's have a little bit of information here, but it is a 1 versus 3. And one thing I will say, Bag of Polar Bears does have a slight advantage here in terms of the bomb. Being completely unaware, and oh dearie me. Claymore placement was perfect from Redrum for 2. Almost takes out Bag of Polar Bears for the ace in the round. Bag of Polar Bears still up, quite resilient. This player still has a thermite grenade to work with too, and when that's thrown at an enemy, it will burn their health down to quite low, if not kill them entirely. Bag of Polar Bears looking for that first kill. Just can't find it. The shot's finally going to finish off the player, but Bag of Polar Bears still has some work to do in this round. I think, unintentionally or not, is actually outplaying Flickr here. Chet McSteel right above him. Bag of Polar Bears now going to equip Dead Silence for the kill. Chet McSteel, though, going to pre-aim at that jump up. Ready for the fight, and Flickr end up taking the win here. We're going to a round 11. My, oh my. What a difference here, a stark difference, I would say, from map number 1 to map number 2. throw it back to Talsic backlot, map the Mindshare Battlers. 6-0 performance. Flickr, they didn't really look in it that much at all. Now the Mindshare Battlers, well, they've got a battle on their hands. Flickr here have pushed them right to the edge. Round number 11, and it's going to be a head-on-head battle towards the A site. Mindshare Battlers have made their way over there. Didn't give up all of that progress they made, though. Momentarily, a beautiful nade from Rejump for 2. Lands right at the feet of Eclipse 6. Takes them out of the round. And now, I believe there is a streak. I think it is a UAV. It's going to be a portable radar. Sorry, Moose's position will be shown to Rejump for 2 any second now. And that's the problem for Moose here. They can hear the portable radar. They'll know about it too. High alert's going to show that Moose is being targeted from behind. That was Rejump for 2. But actually, I suppose the good news here for Moose is that they do get away unscathed. Problem for Mindshare Battlers, once again, though, is the fact that bomb's down. They have to wait for that portable radar to disappear off the map before they can even really make some moves. As long as it's over towards B, there'll be some knowledge for Flickr as to where this bomb is being planted down. Finally, though, the portable radar is gone. Jump to 2. Could, of course, have a streak, but doesn't matter. Bag of polar bears in a 1 versus 3 now. Thinking 1. Down for the count, but not before taking out Moose, and it is a 1 versus 3, as I said, for Bag of Polar Bears. Straight through the mid-map. 24 seconds left. Has to be careful with this door. I don't think Chetmcsteel's going to be aware of it, but there's the kill. Bag of Polar Bears earns it, but Rejump for 2 is in such a good position. Goes to the L. Rejump for 2 takes the shots. Bag of potatoes, or Bag of Polar Bears, sorry. He's going to have to do something about this. 5 seconds, can no longer just plant the bomb. You need to go for it, and just no time. This is going to be a win for Flickr. I'm unsure really what Bag of Polar Bears was doing there in that 1 versus 1 situation, but it is going to be 6-5 to Flickr here in game number 1. What a close affair it was. And I'll tell you what, after that very first map on Talsic Backlot, where it was 6-0, in my mind, had already written off Flickr in a way. I thought their gameplay wasn't too great in map number 1. Mindshare Battlers, they looked entirely superior. My God, did Flickr come out and prove me wrong there in map number 2. What a battle there as Gunrunner Search and Destroy goes their way. I will say, for all of the flawless gameplay that Mindshare Battlers came out with in map number 1, things did not look like that whatsoever in map number 2. They did make a fair few mistakes, especially that last one-on-one engagement that Bag of Polar Bears was in against Redrum for 2. But regardless, it's now 1-1 in the series. That means we are going to a map 3 here to decide who will be moving on in this single elimination bracket. And remember, guys, if you want to get involved with the conversation on Twitter, you can do so by using the hashtag Agency Showdown. And of course, you can subscribe to the channel to be notified when we'll be going live with all of the Call of Duty action every single day for all of the maps here and all of the matches across this Agency Showdown. That being said, map number 3 is ready to get underway. It is going to be Crash, Search and Destroy to decide which of these two teams will be making it through to the round of 16 in the single elim bracket. Remember, this is a best of 3 format. So, Crash, Search and Destroy. Let's see what they can do here. Once again, Flickr, 6-0'd. Map number 1. Mindshare Battlers, 6-0 map number 1. Flickr came back strong in map number 2, a 6-5 performance. And Crash, of course, those unaware, is just like Backlot, a map that has been remastered from the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare title. Been remastered a fair few times, of course. Saw a few variations of it in Modern Warfare Remastered. Christmas Crash is actually a pretty fun map. Winter Crash, I should say. But Flickr, going to start pretty strong here in round number 1. The sniper rifle, the AX-50, pulls off that first blood. Moose now out of the round, but Eclipse 6 isn't too bothered. Well, now they are. Bag of Polar Bears now left up in a 1 versus 3. Thinking 1, picks up that first blood. Bag of Polar Bears No dead silence to work with for now. Has to crouch their way to not make any noise up these stairs. Retrieve the bomb. Of course, they do have to be very careful because Thinking One is still there. Back at Polar Bears has to play this pretty much perfectly. And all Thinking One here has to do is just peek the window, get the kill, and they will do. Perfectly played from Flickr. A flawless start to this search and destroy. Not what I was expecting whatsoever. Considering what we saw, I did not expect Thinking One to do that at all. But great defense off the site. And that means that Flickr are going to be starting this round strong. 1-0. Now 2 more rounds of offense for the Mindshare battlers. Last round, it was an A assault. Let's see if we see more of an assured push. And generally speaking, we see, I guess, a proper 3-man assault. Normally constitutes a successful assault onto a bomb site. This round, Mindshare Battler is going to be helped out slightly as Thinking One nades themselves out of the round. Now Mindshare Battlers looking for an advantage. Any advantage they did have is now out of the question. Use taken out of the round, and now it's just down a redrum for 2. Once again, I will say it, the most skilled player in Flickr, unable to do bits to the side there. Mindshare Battlers going to tie things up. And again, I did say that they needed an assured push, and we did finally see it out of Mindshare Battlers. I feel that was kind of what was missing in the first round, was, I guess, an assured push. It kind of seemed a little bit all over the place. Now, the last offensive round here for the Mindshare Battlers. Straight towards A they go once again, and you can see on the minimap the aggression of which Thinking One is going with towards this A bomb site. Has redrum for 2 in tow. And going up top for Thinking One. Redrum for 2 though. They have other ideas. They come marching in with the 725, looking for the first blood, looking for the second as well. Not gonna find it. Bag of Polar Bears instead pulls out a great 2-piece. And now it's a 1 versus 2. Check McSteel here. AX50 thermal in hand. Looking for that first blood, and that thermal does enable them to spot out a player on the bottom left of their scope. For whatever reason, Moose hadn't really reacted until a little bit too late there, but alas, they still win the gunfight, and Mindshare Battlers come out on top in the round. You're going to see that turn on play. Beautiful shots with the MP7. Now, though, we switch sides again. Every 3 rounds, remember, guys, we switch sides from offense to defense. Rejump for 2, bomb in hand. We haven't seen any certified B pushes just yet, but that might all change here as rejump for 2 in the mid-map with this AK-47. Looking for a good start. It's a player right in front of them. Takes down Bag of Polar Bears. Do they get away with their life? No, unfortunately not. Rejump for 2 picks up, or dies, sorry, to Moose. Clip6 and Moose now in a 2 versus 2 against Chet McSteel and Thinking One. Problem for Flickr here, of course, is that rejump for 2 dying in the mid-map means that our bomb is essentially in no man's land. Positive, though, we're playing casual search and destroy rules. That means we're not on 1 minute 30 rounds, we're in 2 minutes. There is still a lot of time here for Flickr to work with. Thinking One. Have they spotted out Eclipse? I don't know if they have. Finally, I think they might have done. Thinking One goes for the shots, but Eclipse is going to get away. Not going to re-challenge that, no, sir. And on the other side, you have Moose, who's playing this a lot slower. I think that's the right play to make. Don't overplay your hand here. You're the ones on defense. Never mind. I say that. Eclipse overplays it and plays it rather well. Now just down to Chet McSteel and a 1 versus 2. Of course, no dead silence to be had. Tracker for Eclipse. That in an equation, it's going to recall Eclipse winning that 1 versus 2. Mindshare Battlers now have given themselves a 2-round advantage over Flickr. Flickr once again, I think assessing their options, I feel, early on in this round. Rejump for 2 last time, if you remember. Died in the mid-map, leaving the bomb stranded, and I feel Flickr a little bit in disarray. Oh my god, where is Eclipse6 currently located? You can see right now, covering this alley. How long does he stare at it? He knows there's players on their way. Thinking one is right there. Elsewhere, Bag of Polar Bears wins an important one-on-one engagement against Checkpick Steel. That's really going to close off any push towards this A site, and I think, if anything, make this a short push towards B. Eclipse6 takes down Rejump for 2. Second player around the corner, unfortunately, isn't ready for the fight, even though they proactively jump out at him. I'm thinking one now in a 1 versus 2 hit against Moose and the Bag of Polar Bears. Thinking one. Shots going down. Bag of Polar Bears has their number really easily, to be honest there. Mindshare Battlers get a 4th round here. They look a lot better on Crash. On Gunrunner, they look a tiny bit off center. But cool, calm, collective, composed. Bag of Polar Bears is going to finish that round for the Mindshare Battlers, and Flickr need to start really getting something going here. They're 4-1 down in the Search and Destroy. They lose this map. They're out of the Agency Showdown. Mindshare Battlers haven't put much defense over towards A, and that's going to come back to bite them, as Flickr now have full control over this A bomb site. Have players watching all of the angles too. Bomb down, and now Mindshare Battlers need to engineer some form of retake. That's not the best starts too, as Moose gets a little bit premature. Goes for the first few shots, and thinking one. Punishes. The Bag of Polar Bear has taken out Rejump for 2 here. That's good for the Mindshare Battlers. Eclipse6 and Bag of Polar Bears still have a chance, but a greatly placed Semtex from the Bag of Polar Bears. From thinking one is going to take out Bag of Polar Bears, and thinking one there. Clutch player ends up picking up a 2-piece. The first with the Semtex, the second with their silenced M4. Even goes for the lean on the second one. Completely unnecessary, but still, style points. You earned them. Now, the Mindshare Battlers still have a lead as they now go on to the offense. What can they do? Eclipse6 with bomb. We haven't seen any offensive here from the Mindshare Battlers towards B. That looks to have all changed. I'm interested. Does Checkpick still have the AX50? Yes, they do. They could be crucial to winning this round for Flickr, but missing that first shot, surely not going to help. Goes for the straight-up challenge with the MP5. Gets some shots in, but not enough to finish the kill. And the Mindshare Battlers already with an advantage in this round. They have some medium control over the B site too. Thinking one gets a kill, not before being traded out. And oh my god, Eclipse6 turns and burns onto the last remaining player. The Mindshare Battlers here now 5-2 up in this Search and Destroy. You're going to see this 2-piece once again. Doesn't show up in the kill count. But Eclipse6 are actually alerted via the high alert perk once again, and that's why that perk is so widely used by the casual Call of Duty player community. Now, once again, it is a push here towards the B site. Moose and Chet McSteel in the alleyway, just assessing the situation towards one of them. Moose goes straight for the shot, a well-placed nade, and Flickr very well played there on the defense. I don't think Mindshare Battlers even really got anything off in the round. Was that a very, very well played and well synthesized set of kills? I think that was actually 3 different 1v1s to one at the same time there from Flickr. Now they once again, Flickr and the Mindshare Battlers back at it once again. Now Moose in a 1 versus 2. All the action goes down towards A. What can Moose do here in this scenario? Has the bomb, looking to plant it on A. Notice there's a player right around them too. Rejump for 2 here. Looking to play spoiler. And Moose is so aware that just hear the footsteps. Rejump for 2 is not being careful whatsoever, but regardless, I think Moose is just going to risk it, going to go straight for this plant, and I believe, technically speaking, Rejump will be able to hear that plant, but doesn't react quick enough to it. Moose going to run right to the roof here to defend this site. Tracker enables Moose to see, but premature shots coming from Moose. Gets the first kill, unable to pick up the second. Redrum slaps Moose down, and Flickr live to see another round here. Remember, Mindshare Battlers were 5-2 up in this S&D map. This would be a great comeback from Flickr, but it is not over until we see one team with 6 points. Mindshare Battlers, there is plenty of their room here for them to slip up in this map. Mindshare Battlers still with the advantage though, still looking for that final round. Flickr have all the room in the world to move towards the safe site. Mindshare Battlers have done nothing to defend it, and again, this is one of those mistakes, just like we saw in the round 11 on Gunrunner, where that could make all the difference, and I honestly think it will. Mindshare Battlers, right off the start here, before they even put their first foot forward, have to come out with an incredible retake. Eclipse6, the first player up to bat, and if anything, I would wait here. I would not push in the style that Eclipse6 is doing. Waits for their teammate. Eclipse6, as soon as they get around this corner, has one player to deal with. Chet McSteele now down for the count, and Mindshare Battlers have the numbers to retake, but they need to get this gunfight, and they do. It's Rejump for 2 here to save the game for Mindshare Battlers. Gets the first kill. Smartly runs to the roof, and oh my goodness, bird's eye view onto the last kill. Flickr gonna force a round 11. What a play there. That was so smart from Rejump for 2. Bag of Polar Bears was being so careful not to make any noise, but Rejump for 2 throws all of that stealth out the window, goes for the kill, and earns a brilliant 1 versus 2 clutch. And now 3 rounds straight for Flickr means we're in round 11. 1 round to decide who will be moving on to the next round of matches here in the Activision Blizzard Media Agency Showdown. Flickr straight towards A once again. They've seen success in the past few rounds. Eclipse6 almost takes out Thinking 1. Unfortunately for Eclipse6, unable to finish out the kill. Mindshare Battlers now have a streak, and Rejump for 2 with the Predator missile takes out Moose. Flickr already with an advantage here. Mindshare Battlers now down to just 1 player. And this is so harsh, considering the position that Mindshare Battlers were in after map number 1. They looked so much better. That 6-0 start. And now it's down a Bag of Polar Bears, who hasn't had that bad of a game, to be honest, to clutch up and get the win for Flickr, or for the Mindshare Battlers, sorry. Just 35 seconds left in this one. Polar Bears spots out the first player, gets the kill straight through the wall. Thinking 1 is going to make this easier. Someone gets himself out of the round. I saw the first hit, but the one-on-one slide comes out from Redrum, who has been the star for this Flickr lineup. And a second round 11 in a row. It goes the way of Flickr once again. And what a story we have there. In the first match of the day, Flickr, they didn't even look like they were playing Call of Duty in the first match. Mindshare Battlers dominated. They're 6-0, but the comeback story, the Cinderella story, is true, and Flickr able to win 2 round 11s in a row, both on Gunrunner and here on Crash, are going to be the first team from this Wednesday set of matches to be going through to the round of 16. So congratulations to them. They will be the first team moving on in this bracket. Commiserations to the Mindshare Battlers once again. They had such a great performance in round number 1, so it is unfortunate for them that they are not going to be in round 2 of this tournament. That being said, guys, that's our first match of the evening done and out of the way. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to go into a quick break before we get right back into the action. Welcome back, everybody, to Activision Blizzard Media's tournament, the Agency Showdown on Call of Duty Modern Warfare. If you're just joining us here, of course, you've already missed the first match of the day, and it was a very tense affair, or at least it didn't start that way. I think it's fair to say the Mindshare battlers absolutely dominated our first map in the best of 3 series. They won that one 6-0. Then, though, we moved into map 2 and 3, and that was much, much closer. Round 11 in both events, of course, and actually both round 11s went the way of Flickr. So overall in the best of 3, Flickr came out on top 2-1, and they are going to be the 5th team overall who have made it into the round of 16. Now, though, it is our time to decide the next team that will be moving on in our bracket, in our 32-team bracket here. Single elimination. It is going to be Goodfellas going head-to-head with Reckitt. Now, I don't know. Again, this is one of those situations where we see the team names, and I don't know what Goodfellas is referencing. Is it referencing the TV show? Is it referencing the pizza brand? I don't know. Regardless, though, it's a pretty cool name, and I'm excited to see who comes out on top of this one. Again, this is going to be one of those funny situations where there are some funny gamer tags in the lobby. Somebody has decided to aptly call themselves COVID-19, which is going to be something to be calling throughout. But I guess it's kind of apt because this is part of the point of the tournament, I suppose, is it connects us all in these times of COVID being a thing. That being said, let's get right into the match then. Of course, again, it's Goodfellas versus Reckitt. And again, just to give you guys a little bit of a refresher for those of you who maybe are just joining us, each match here tonight will be a best of 3 scenario. All of the maps played will be search and destroy. Of course, one of the most iconic game modes in Call of Duty history. And then speaking of iconic, well, we're going to be jumping into an iconic map here. It's going to be Paratroopers. Now, for those of you who watch the Call of Duty League, if you don't, you should be. It's on basically every 2 weeks now. The events are online, and it's so great to watch all of the Call of Duty League teams going at it. Paratroopers is actually a map in the competitive Call of Duty League rotation. It is a map that I see very, very often, and again, it is one of my favorite maps in the game. And you'll notice by the layout, it promotes very close quarters combat. So you should be seeing some MP5s coming out of the teams here, some submachine guns, and maybe even some shotguns that will be very, very dominant here, especially towards the B bomb site. That being said, we're starting things off with Goodfellas on the offense. And again, for those of you maybe unfamiliar with casual Call of Duty and the rules of search and destroy, these teams are going to be switching sides from offense to defense and vice versa every 3 rounds. So Goodfellas have 3 goes at this offensive push. Now, Drizzlebot towards the A-bomb site. Just checking that everything's good. Goodfellas going to start things strong here, actually. It's over towards B, where most of the action is happening. And you're going to see a chew, which is going to be oh so wonderful to call throughout this entire match. Getting that kill with, well, surprise, surprise, the MP5. The single best weapon in the game. Of course, minusing shotguns. There is a debate to be made about the 725, about how powerful it still is, but I'm sure somebody would debate that with me. Regardless, Goodfellas right now. Moving towards the A-bomb site. This is a very split attack here from Goodfellas. They're really hedging their bets as they sent Achu towards B alongside very little Reardon. Drizzlebot still over towards the A site. And of course, if Drizzle drops this bomb, they could be in serious trouble. But elsewhere, very little Reardon picks up First Blood with the Grout. SSC, SLY. Or Sealy. We're going to call him Sealy. I like just, we're just going to say Sesley. Sesley? We'll go with Sesley. Whatever. Chris Juggernaut, though, picks up another kill. COVID-19 takes out very little Reardon. Now it's down to Achu in a 1 versus 2 scenario. Bomb is down, and I said that was really the problem. That if Drizzlebobs drops that bomb, it leaves it in a rather precarious position where Achu is now going to have to go and retrieve it and get it down in 45 seconds. And of course, Chris Juggernaut. I presume that's the pun that Chris Juggernaut is going with. Of course, a pun on the word Juggernaut. The kill streak from classic Call of Duty games is actually in this game too. Defending that site, Achu goes straight for the bomb. Makes some noise though while doing it, and surely sooner or later Chris is going to check it from the stairs, and they will. And check it, Reckitt takes a round. Goodfellas have been eliminated. And once again, surprise, surprise, a variant of the MP5 is the weapon in use here for Chris. Reckitt now on the final defensive round here. It's going to be a straight mid-rush from Selly. 0 and 2 start, looking for their first kill in this game. Surely will have just heard a door being opened right behind them. I think Selly is just more preoccupied with defending this B site, and they might just get a sneaky kill. Decides to chuck out the C4, chucks it at a Chew and finishes it off. Detonates the C4 right at a Chew's feet. Very little rid on with a return fire, but COVID-19 elsewhere takes out Drivelbot, so now it's very little rid in a 1 versus 2 here. Has retrieved that bomb, but unfortunately I feel COVID-19 comes in behind, finishes them off, and Reckitt takes their second round on the bounce now, and a 2-1 advantage before we switch sides. Now though, Goodfellas, as I said, they now switch sides, so it's their job to defend the A and the B sites. And what I want to see here is a more unified push from Reckitt on the offense. Let's see what they can do. Seems to be that way right off the start as they make their move towards the bridge that is necessary to cross to get to A. And oh my god, Silly almost snaps onto Drizzlebot. As a matter of fact, though, it will be Drizzlebot to close out that one-on-one engagement. Goodfellas now in a 2 versus 2, though, as COVID-19 takes out a Chew. Now just down to COVID-19 here. Has to take out 2 players to win the round for Reckitt. It's had an incredible start. COVID-19 turning out to be a great Call of Duty player, it would seem. One player on the bridge to deal with. Very little rear done, of course, elsewhere. And I think maybe the one advantage you could really get here if you're COVID-19 is that you can take out these players one-on-one with very little response coming from the other player. They are extremely separated, and you are not going to see what we call in the Call of Duty community a trade. Usually, if these players were closer together, that might be within the realms of possibility, but COVID-19 has that to their advantage. Playing this rather slow. They actually have Dead Silence, do they? Nope, Dead Silence hasn't been earned, but I think it has now just been earned from COVID-19. They and Drizzlebot are just walking around each other. COVID-19 now going to activate that Dead Silence, has retrieved the bomb, and now moving towards the B site. Drizzlebot and Very Little Reared On here have been assigned a bomb site each, and I feel like with the position that Very Little Reared On has, they will catch COVID-19 off guard as soon as they go to the plant. Surely the Growl is going to get this kill. The first two shots go in. Very Little Reared On going to be able to close out that fight. Now look, Reckitt and Goodfellas once again back at it again. 2 for 2 right now in terms of the round count. 1 minute 50 left in this game. Or this round, I should say. This has been a very close affair in the search and destroy thus far. Drizzlebot puts those first few shots in. COVID-19 going to finish the fight rather easily, and now Reckitt have an open line of sight towards the A bomb. They want to go get it down. They can do so completely uncontested. Although you do see COVID-19 on the minimap tempting fate. Getting a little bit closer to that B-bomb site, and if anything, I feel like positioning from COVID-19 is very good here. They will be able to catch a Chew off guard as this rotation towards the site comes in, and it is a perfect kill, a perfectly played round from Reckitt. No lives lost. Very good offense from them. Now the final offensive round here from Reckitt. Once again, they had a great offense last round. Let's see which bomb site they choose to go to. COVID has had an incredible start to this game, 6-1. And Reckitt with a unified push towards the B site. Let's see what Goodfellas can do about it. There's one player pushed up very far up the map. It will be very little Reardon. Della's silence has been popped, but it doesn't matter. COVID-19 comes out, takes out very little Reardon. And Reckitt now looking pretty good here in this round. They have full control over the B site. Now it's just a case of how quickly do they plant it. Well, I get an answer pretty quickly here. Reckitt get that bomb down onto B. Now, what do Goodfellas do? Once again, you see the two players on Goodfella. They are very split up. Achu goes down, and because of how far away Drizzlebot is, there is no trade. And now it's down to Drizzlebot 1 versus 3. This is going to be such a hard task to pull off. Dead silence, though, is there. The door open from Drizzlebot, but the position of the players around from Reckitt. Surely this is an impossible task, and it is. Reckitt able to win the round. And now they have a 2-round advantage here after round number 6. Goodfellas now move towards the B site. Great start from them here. Fortunately, though, Sully going to have the number. Very little Reardon taken out of the equation. And now Reckitt, there is a line here for them to come in on the flank. And I think that's exactly what Sully is looking to do. There's the kill to be made. Oh, turned on. Trizzle has Sully's life. That is a great response there from Goodfellas. And now Chris Juggernaut and COVID-19 left up here to defend the B bomb site, and unfortunately for them, that bomb is going down without really anything to say about it. And I think the problem here for Reckitt is they are so split up again. It is that problem of if they don't get the kills there, will not be a trade, but it doesn't matter for COVID-19. They take out Drizzlebot. Now it's a 1 versus 2 for a tube. Defend the bomb site. The RPG from COVID-19, not the best play I've ever seen. And that is going to leave this in the 1 versus 1 as Chris Juggernaut has to retake this site against a tube. He's actually in a good position to do this. Stun going to be thrown out. A Chew here, defending this site. They've seen it, and they've done it. They've done the job. Of course, there is 5 seconds to defuse the bomb. Chris Juggernaut going to get on it, but the defuse time is just not enough. They jump on it just a little bit too late. And Goodfellas are going to win that offensive round. Goodfellas here on the offense once again. They seem to be quite familiar with the speed bomb site now, and they have no qualms of just planting the bomb. And this is actually quite ballsy from Goodfellas. They get that bomb straight down. Reckitt don't really have much of a response for now, but they do not have any players down. That is the one advantage they have here. It's Reckitt. Go for the first move. Unfortunately for Sully, they are down and out. COVID-19, though, takes out very little rear done, and this is now a 3-dimensional attack here. COVID-19 coming in behind, gets the second kill, one more to take. The shots go down, they know where it is. The RPG gonna damage, surely the kill as well. No, unfortunately not. Chris Juggernaut now is in a 1 versus 1. They have to go, otherwise they will make the same mistake they did in the last round of not leaving enough time to go for the defuse. And I think Drizzlebot may have done it. You need to get on the defuse now. Oh, reloads. I don't know if they have enough time to get this defuse. I don't know if they did. Oh, they did just about. Ooh, that was very tense. Only a 10th or 2 of a second in it. And Reckitt now on map point here to get a 1-0 series advantage. COVID-19 has had the best performance on this Reckitt side, 11-4. As Reckitt look pretty strong here on Ramat's search and destroy. Goodfellas need a flawless search and destroy performance, otherwise they will be 1-0 down in this matchup. But once again, Goodfellas, last offensive round, they go back to the old faithful on the B site. And again, no qualms about it. Reckitt do nothing to stop this plant from happening. So once again, for the third round straight, they have to try and retake. Do they do it? And I think Goodfellas are a little bit more prepared for this flank here. And it works out so beautiful for Goodfellas. Trades coming into effect. Look, Burial Reardon picks up a 2-piece. And now it's Chris Juggernaut left up in a 1 versus 2. 20 seconds left on the clock. This is not a lot of time to work with whatsoever. And I don't know if I have faith in him to win this one, but the first kill is there. They have to remember the time. 15 seconds to work with. Chris Juggernaut gets caught by a player in a corner. And Goodfellas are going to live to see another round. Reckitt, again, they're still 5-4 up in this search and destroy. Still just one round away from taking a 1-0 advantage here. And well, look at that. They figured out that the B bomb site is the better bomb site to go to. Completely uncontested. There's one player close that could maybe do some damage, maybe stop this, but I don't think Verilul Reardon is going to do anything about it. Instead, now they're going to have to do what Reckitt attempted in the previous round to them. Go for a straight retake. The first fight coming in, and Achu's going to win it on to Silly. COVID-19 and Chris Juggernaut have resorted to just sitting inside what we call the grandma's house. First kill goes the way of Chris Juggernaut. Achu down to the count. COVID-19. I'm not quite sure why they RPG the bomb. There's nobody on it. A little bit premature. COVID-19 now taken out of the equation. It's Chris Juggernaut here in a 1 versus 2. Just has to defend the defuse. It doesn't happen. Drizzlebot with the pre-aim and the kill and the defuse. Perfectly played from Goodfellas as they force a round 11 here in game number 1. Round 11, folks. For all the beans in round number 1, it is going to be Reckitt here. Still riding off the back of a great early game performance from COVID-19. Have been pushed right to this round. And on the offense, they still are here. Goodfellas, what can they do about it? Well, not very much, it would seem. COVID-19 starts this round strong, taking out Achu, but that is actually the worst performing player right now on Goodfellas, so not exactly the hedge you want to take. They do have to be rather careful, though, and I'm not exactly sure if this approach from Silly on their own towards the site, but it doesn't matter. They're going to win the one-on-one engagement versus Drizzlebot. And now it's Verilul Reardon here in a 1 versus 3 for a round 11 clutch up. This is a big ask out of anybody. But they do have a good weapon to work with. The Grau is a rather powerful DLC weapon. I think has just been split out, though, by Chris Juggernaut. Up top from Construction and Reckitt. They almost slip up, but it doesn't matter. Round 11 is going to go their way. And a great start here from Reckitt as they take map number 1 at 6-5. It was a very close affair, tense one at that as well, because they were 6-3 up right off the start. Unfortunately for them, couldn't make it go any further. So, good stuff from Reckitt, and also good stuff from Goodfellas, I've got to say. I mean, look, they pushed that one very, very close. They were 5-3 down at one point. I thought maybe that was going to be it, but they pushed it all the way to around 11, and they've really got to give themselves a pat on the back. A few clutch scenarios that did actually get them there. Great defense of the B site. That being said now, though, we move into map number 2 now in this series. And remember, guys, that we are going to be on St. Petrograd, and this is a best of 3 So now that Reckitt are 1-0 up in the series, that means that they just have to win one more Search and Destroy map, and they are through to round number 2 of the tournament, which will be taking place next week. So, St. Petrograd Search and Destroy, that is the map. Yet another Call of Duty League map here that we're going to be seeing played. And again, because of the fact that Search and Destroy is a Call of Duty game mode, essentially that means that, it means that we're going to be seeing some sort of like, I guess, regular plays here. I've seen a lot of plays on St. Petrograd Search and Destroy. It is a very, very good Search and Destroy map. And what I will say is that A site is generally speaking preferred. For what I've seen in this game, I will say that I kind of feel like a lot of the players here in this tournament maybe either haven't watched the Call of Duty League or just don't know the preferred bomb site. So we've seen actually more B pushers. So maybe that's what we'll see here in this game. But again, to give context, Reckitt have taken a 1-0 series advantage in this one. Goodfellas now 1-0 down. Let's see what they can do here, whether or not we will see a response. And it's not out of the realms of possibility whatsoever. They pushed it all the way to round 11. It was an incredibly close map, number 1. Let's see as we get into the map, whether or not it'll be exactly the same. Right off the start, Sicily takes themselves out, actually gets a respawn as well. I feel like that may have just been to change class, so no problem for Reckitt. And, well, I guess Goodfellas did hear me. They go straight towards the A site. And the reason it is so much more preferable over the B site is because there aren't as many angles to cover. Straight up, that is it. You have to cover the apartments, which is just above. It provides a high ground for any retaking side to work with, but also a high ground for any defensive side who have already planted the bomb to work with. COVID-19 starts things strong, takes out Drizzlebot. Achu, though, with a straight response here. So now 2 versus 2, and COVID-19, the best performing player in round number 1, or map number 1, is out of the way. Sicily just jumping on the defuse, though. I don't know if this is even going to get noticed. Somehow Sicily comes in with the ninja. Very little reared on, doesn't bother checking it. And Reckitt going to start this one strong with a first match win. Carbon as well, very loud there. Now though, Goodfellas. Straight towards A once again. They don't switch sides for another 2 rounds, so they've got to offensively push this site once again. But they do run into a problem straight away. COVID-19 takes up a lot. Chris Juggernaut looking for that first blood. Very little reared on, comes in with the drop shot onto Chris Juggernaut. Takes the head off the player and now evens the odds here at 2 for 2. Reckitt now looking for this read successfully with the FAMAS in hand. Looks for the kill, has it. Onto very little reared on now. It's just down to Chu here to defend this site. Gets the first kill, second right in front of him. COVID-19 with the RPG, unable to pick up the kill. And it will be a Chu there to take the kill. And finish off the round for Goodfellas. Brilliantly played from a Chu. Uses the boxes as cover perfectly. Just, I guess, play the mental games, play a bit of mind games. With COVID-19, comes out on top. Now a shoot. Bomb in hand has been the star performer for Goodfellas so far. 3-1 in this search and destroy. Looking to once again get an uncontested plant on A, but once again it is Chris Juggernaut in their favorite position. And Apartments looking over the first kill, unable to finish it off. Very little reared on, gonna trade out before there is even a kill really made, and now Goodfellas have an advantage defending this site. Reckitt have to find their way in, and they're entirely unaware of a player there is in the mid as well, so this could be very bad. Sicily, well placed nade though, takes out a tube. Sicily jumps right onto the fuse, not gonna happen this time. A little bit cheeky, and I can tell what Sicily was trying to do there. RPG from COVID-19. And able to win the first fight, and I think, if anything, COVID-19 is just going to not be aware to just check that apartment window. And with 15 seconds left, this is going to be so tough to win. COVID-19 is just in trouble here. That's the first kill, though. Second right in front of him. Not going to happen. Goodfellas able to play the numbers game and win the round. Now they're Reckitt. We switch sides as Reckitt take the reins with the bomb. They're moving it towards A. Goodfellas, very reserved defense here. They have one player towards the A site. Very little rid on. As soon as they peek out, Sicily will be ready for this shot. COVID-19 makes the move as well. Up the map. Tell you what, very little rid on could pounce here in this game. Oh my goodness. It's going to be a portable radar kill coming out of either COVID-19 or Sicily. And now Goodfellas here in a 2 versus 3 situation have to retake this site. Flash goes out. Achu is stunned, but not really afflicted all that much. Able to walk away with their life. Achu just going to check this corner. And what a check this is as well. Sicily comes out on top though. Just not a solid execution, and it does leave Drizzlebot in a 1 versus 3. Shots going out. COVID-19 closes out the round with a very well-placed RPG. And we have our first RPG kill of the tournament. The first connects with the car bomb. The second finishes off COVID-19 with the RPG to close out the round for Reckitt. Now tied up at 2 for 2 here in this game. Reckitt now look pretty good on the offense once again. Bomb in hands, moving towards the A site. Goodfellas hit. What can they do on the defense? I love this from Chris Juggernaut. 725 strategy. It is a very legitimate strat at that. Comes around on the flanks, picks up the first kill. Has to be careful though because Achu is present danger. And gets shotted from up top. Chris Juggernaut is going to win that fight. And now once again, Drizzlebot in a 1 versus 3 here. Growl in hand. Can still pull this off. Has a lot of time to work with it and is in the position to do so from up top apartments. But he needs that first kill onto Chris. And the 725. I mean, this guy, he should have had it outright from the start. Chris Juggernaut is going to pick it up. The kill there with the 725. And Reckitt now. Straight towards the A site. Or mid-map. I don't think they've actually made a decision yet of where they wanted to go. This is a rather reserved offense from Reckitt. But a great start here. Long-range shots from COVID-19 with the M4A1. The silencer going to mean that the position of that player stays hidden too. Goodfella. They can still win this round in a 2 versus 3. Achu is giving chase to one player. For that Chris, and they do get the kill. That's a big head to take. Elsewhere though, Cecily takes out Drizzlebot, and now it's left up to Achu to win the 1 versus 2 to get the ace. Achu just checking all of these angles. Has Dead Silence to use, is now going to pop it, but the bomb now planted at B means that Achu is essentially going to have to perform a marathon to get round to the other side of the map. That's going to waste at least 5 to 10 seconds of time. Here it comes from Achu, straight running. And that super sprint ability, unfortunately for them, not going to work out because, of course, it does mean your gun's up, you're not ready for the fight. And Sicily, with the FAMAS, is going to win that fight easily. And that is a great round from Sicily, too. Now that we switch sides once again, round number 7, Reckitt have a 4-2 advantage. Although, just like last time, we saw Reckitt, they had an advantage. It went all the way to round 11. It was still Reckitt that came out on top, but regardless, Goodfellas. They're looking pretty good on the offense, but that's not looking good at all. Very little Reardon loses their life right at the start of the round. Drizzlebot falls 2, and now it's just down to Achu, who is all on their own towards this A site. Has to be careful because COVID-19 is coming in behind and rather aggressively at that. And I do like the awareness from Achu. There will just be players coming in on the flank. COVID-19 hasn't actually spotted Achu. And I love this from a shoot in the 1 versus 3. Goes for the lean. Gonna at least throw a stun to try and get the kill. Go for the bomb. I'm kind of unsure of this play. But it does send COVID-19 into hiding for a second. A shoot goes for the kill. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to win it. And Cecily, who has had a star performance in this search and destroy so far, will get the defuse here and put Reckitt with a 5-2 advantage. I mean, look, they had a 5-3 advantage in the previous game. Surely they do not let this one go to around 11. Well then, Reckitt looking pretty good here. 5-2, as I said. They have 4 chances to close this game out, close the series out. Goodfellas, they haven't looked as good here in this map. And they're heading straight for trouble. Is COVID-19 ready for this? Oh my goodness, Drizzlebot fires an RPG straight to the car bomb. It takes COVID-19 out on the push, but Chris Juggernaut is ready for this aggression, takes out a Chew. There is a trade almost immediately, and the action's going down early on in this round. It's down to Cecily in a 1 versus 2. It will be Reardon to take them down, and chance number 1 falls by the wayside as Goodfellas are going to take the 3rd round here on St. Petrograd Search and Destroy. Goodfellas here. Now, once again, need a perfect search and destroy. 3 rounds straight. Well, should technically speaking be 4 because they've already got 1 of those 4 rounds. Reckitt, though, have pushed up, and I love this from Chris Juggernaut. It doesn't work out, though. A shoot. Gonna have their number. And now Reckitt in a 2 versus 3 on the defense. And I think the key thing here, I feel, for Reckitt is just to play defensively. Do not get overzealous. You have no reason to. It is, of course, Goodfellas that need to make the move, and that's what I mean. Now COVID-19 has to pull off a 1 versus 2. Does get the 1st kill, the 2nd kill is in front of him. And now Drizzlebot, with a fair bit of time to work with here. 1 minute 10 on the clock. Has to retrieve that bomb. COVID-19, though, has popped dead silence. Just to check that that bomb is still there. COVID has heard this. He's going straight for the challenge. Dead Silencer runs out just before they get to it. And Drizzlebot now turns around. I think they're ready for it. COVID-19. They turn the corner, and unfortunately for them, Drizzlebot heard it, I feel. And Goodfellas, once again, are just not laying down and taking it. Drizzlebot comes in with the kill. Reckitt, once again, chance number 3 now. They do not want this to go to around 11 again. I don't know if I want this to go to around 11. I don't know if my heart can take it. What a tense affair it was last time. Reckitt, though, want to end it here. And again, I said they need to stop being so aggressive. And you see Chris Juggernaut just run straight through the mid-map. 7:25 in hand. They feel like they can take these fights, but so far they haven't been all that successful in the past couple of rounds. And I feel like given the amount of breathing room they have, for whatever reason, they just kind of seem to be chuckling it somewhat. Cecily spots out a player, and oh no, he takes a while to jump up. Finally connects the shots, closes out the kill. And now Reckitt have a man advantage. The bomb is going to be going down on A as well. Juggernaut challenging for this kill. A player in the corner. There's 2 7:25 shots. Do not go in. And now Reckitt down to just 2 men. I said again, that aggression from Chris Juggernaut doesn't work out essentially ever, to be honest. COVID-19 fires 2 RPG shots off. One of them is going to connect now. Cecily going to finish off the kill. 20 seconds to defend this bomb. and they just can't get too aggressive. I feel like a portable radar now for both of these sides. Cecily, just defend the bomb. Don't get over aggressive here. Just stop the defuse. That's how you play these rounds, but it doesn't matter. Cecily's going to come out on top anyway with the FAMAS kill. And what a play there, as Goodfellas unfortunately going to fall in game number 2. You finish Cecily here. You see it. Getting the kill. Good snap, to be fair, in that one-on-one engagement. But that means that it will be Reckitt with a 2-0 performance here in the second series of the night, moving on to the round of 16 showdown. Great performance from them, especially shout out to Cecily actually in that game, getting 13 kills. That is a great performance. But as I said, that does mean that it will be Reckitt joining tonight's first match with Maya Battlers, as well as the other 4 teams that also got through yesterday in the round of 16. And again, that does happen next week on stream. For now, though, that's our second match of the night done. Again, congrats to Reckitt. They are going to move on to the top 16, and unfortunately, it's going to be commiserations to Goodfellas, who fall at the top 32. For now, though, guys, we're going to throw it to a quick break before we get to our match of the evening. That is going to be between SHL 2020 and Aligned by EOD. It's going to be an epic matchup. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Activision Blizzard Media Agency Showdown. If you've missed our first two matches of the evening, we're well into today's matches, and of course, Mindshare Battlers and Reckitt have been the teams coming out on top over Flickr and Goodfellas, respectively. The first series, of course, of Championship was an incredibly close affair. Went to round 11 in 2 of the maps, and of course, we just had a 2-0 performance from Reckitt, and of course, relatively close maps as well. You know, let's make that clear. You know, it wasn't I guess a clean sweep, we'll call it, right? It wasn't clean at all. It wasn't a clean win. But regardless, Reckitt are now going to be the next team in that round of 16. I think the 6th one overall now, of course, the match and the 2 matches that we had just now. Of course, that means we've still got 3 spots left to give out tonight for the round of 16 in this Agency Showdown. And the next 2 teams that will be facing off are going to be JHL 2020 and Aligned by EOD. These are the 2 teams that will be fighting it out for the next spot in the bracket. It's going to be an absolutely great matchup. And for the first time tonight, we're going to be kicking things off in map number 1 with Hackney Search and Destroy again. It is not actually any longer a Call of Duty League map, but it once was at the very start of the year, the very start of the rotation. This is what was in the competitive meta, basically, when we were still trying to figure things out as to what the best maps in the game was. And that's not to say that it is not a good map anymore. Trust me, again, Hackney Yard, it's actually still in the competitive rotation for the 3rd Call of Duty game and the 1st in the Respawns Hardpoint and Domination. But for Search and Destroy, unfortunately, we do not play it competitively anymore. That being said, it is still an incredibly fun map to watch happen. And of course, I'm very, very excited to see which of these 2 teams are going to come out on top here. Not as creative names as we've had previously. No Carol Baskin or COVID-19 in this matchup, but what we are going to have is some relatively tame names. Hopefully that doesn't translate to the gameplay. That being said, Hackney Yard is getting underway here. Map number 1 is ready and rearing to go. And again, guys, for those of you just joining us, this is going to be a best of 3 format. So that means first team to win 2 maps is going to be taking the series and moving on to the round of 16. That being said, JHL right now are going to be the team that start off on the offense. And again, if you're just joining us, every single match here, every single Search and Destroy game is a best of 11. The first to 6 rounds takes the map. And every 3 rounds, that is when we will be seeing teams trading off in terms of switching sides. So right at the start here, JHL 2020 has the advantage. Put it down to just Jib in a 1 versus 2, looking to get their first kill of the game. And they have the MP5. Of course, they know the competitive meta throws out as Semtex is now looking for the second kill here. Jib looks like they know exactly what they're doing in this 1 versus 2 clutch. Knows exactly where the remaining player is, but it will be a clutch there from JHL 2020. And Aligned by EOD. Not going to win that clutch. Got to feel for Jib there somewhat. But it will be Ublio with the Piercer. Of course, that is an MP7 variant for those of you who don't know. Take the win. Now though, Aligned by EOD on the defense, what can they do? Not entirely sure what they can do here. Great job though off the start. GK David takes down Upoli. Jib responds with a great kill onto Cooper, and the 3rd and final kill goes the way of a player with a very long name, it would seem. Gonna try and pronounce this and the kill cam. Oh no, it's GK David that actually got the kill, but regardless, that does mean that Aligned by EOD are going to tie this one up at 1-1 now, right off the start. And now we go to the 3rd and final offensive round here for JHL 2020. What can they do? Once again, the only player right now actually from JHL 2020 that has actually got kills is going to be Ublio. Piercer in hand, looking for this first kill. The closest player to anybody here is actually going to be GK David with the MP5. aligned by EOD, just playing this one so slow. And if GK David actually comes in from behind, he's played this very, very patiently. Look at the counts on these players. Moving towards the bomb site, but W clearly ready for it. Expect a great Claymore. Jib gonna get all three in very quick succession. Ubilo, Cooper, and W Plea out very, very quickly. El Conquistador is gonna get the defuse. And aligned by EOD. Gonna respond with 2 rounds straight after JHL start this one strong. Now aligned by EOD, once again, bomb in hands for a Jib, who's had an incredible start to this game, 5-1. Now aligned by EOD. Now moving towards the B site, JHL 2020. They think this is an A hit, but they are incredibly wrong. Aligned by EOD has made their way over. Look at this bomb down, entirely uncontested. JHL 2020, like, trying to draw first blood. It's not going to come to pass as Cooper falls for JHL 2020. Now they've got to retake this site. WP lead and Ubilo looking to encroach. A potential pincer movement coming in. A 2-dimensional attack, but not going to matter here as now it's just Ubilo. 1 versus 1. Down from a 1 versus 2. This is still entirely possible. This is probably the best player that you want to try and take out. Ubilo pokes out the door and, well, last remaining player from aligned by EOD. Is going to have their number, and that positioning was so perfect. The doors were wide open, had the cover of the doors, and just turned at the right time to El Conquistador. Wins that one-on-one engagement. Defends the bomb perfectly too. And now aligned by EOD here. Looking on their second offensive round to go straight towards B. Ubio tries to punish, but it just doesn't happen. El Conquistador and Jib going to strike first in this round. Just Cooper left up, and again, it just doesn't happen. Aligned by EOD are looking so strong here, and all of their offensive pushes straight towards the same site. They clearly know which one works better on this map. Jib closes things out here. Now, aligned by EOD, looking to have a flawless offensive round here, an offensive set of rounds, I should say, as they encroach onto the A site. JHL 2020 don't have much presence in the site right now. Ubio peeps out. That's where Cooper gets their first kill in the round, and what a time to do it. Other than now, the foul no less. Not the best weapon in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's a rather weak weapon here, actually. Ubilo picks up that first blood on to Jib, and now it's just down at GK David, left up in a 1 versus 2. Now, I suppose the good thing here for GK David, it's not like he's outside of the A site with the bomb down. He can rotate those kills on Cooper, surely, and there it is. Finishes it off. Long-range shots with the MP5. But now up in a 1 versus 1 against W. Pleely. W. Pleely here has the better weaponry for this scenario. The M4A1 with that thermal scope on it. Technically much better. Also got a bit of utility to work with here. Dead silence is a possibility. GK David, let's see what they've got. Thermite grenade and the stun. GK's positioning here is absolutely superior. I don't think this is going to be something that WP checks whatsoever. And if GK David plays this right, this is what I'd like to see. Don't get aggro when you don't need to. You're defending the site. All you've got to do is make sure that for 15 more seconds, nobody jumps on it. And this is a play that could absolutely happen. GK David going to run straight down. Oh, the thermite comes in from GK David. It's going to get the tag. Removes a little bit of HP down from WP Lee, but going up finishing with the MP5. And again, I really love that from GK David, not to get too aggressive, just to wait out the smoke. And to be fair, that was some great waiting as well. from WP Elite. Goes for the smoke. That is a very, very viable strategy. One that we do see in competitive too. Now though, aligned by EOD, they're 5-1 up in the search and destroy. They have dominated on Hackney Yard. They're looking to close it out here with this defensive round as we switch once again. It is JHL 2020. Over towards the A site. UB stops this bomb plant for a moment, but of course progression does stay in casual search and destroy. So the defuse is there, and now aligned by EOD, looking for the retake. El Conquistador and Jib looking to do it. Now it's just down to El Conquistador. 1 versus 1 against Ublio, the best player on this JHL 2020 side, and it will be Ublio to clutch up there in the 1 versus 2. You're going to see at least the second kill here with the Piercer in hand, a better weaponry for that scenario. And to be fair, El Conquistador there almost tried to melee that final kill, but it just doesn't work out, unfortunately. Now, aligned by EOD, once again, they have a lot of room to breathe, a lot of room for error here. GK David, how easy do you get? Just run straight out, but WP Lee, again, with a well-placed Claymore for the second time here on Hackney Yard Search and Destroy, is going to take GK David out as they get a little bit over-aggressive, and now, actually, this round has quickly fallen by the wayside for aligned by EOD. Jib now in a 1 versus 3. Of course, that door opening will have been absolutely heard. Now going to try and come in behind. Takes down WP Lee. With the MP5, this is still possible. Second kill right in front of him. Cooper gets away with their life. And now Jib here just going to try and stop this plant. Unfortunately, going to be able to be unable to do so straight away. Jib gets the first kill, goes right down for this plant. And that's just not the right direction to check. Jib takes a 50-50. And unfortunately, it doesn't work out. JHL once again relying on a 1v1 performance from Ublio to stay in this first map. Now they aligned by EOD. 2 rounds straight. They've taken an L hit. Now it's the last offensive push for a JH 2020. And I feel if they take out Ublio, to be honest, I say the round is over, but it certainly makes it a lot harder for JHL 2020. Cooper and WP Lee haven't seen anywhere near as much success as their teammate. And there you go. There's the potential win condition going aligned by EOD's way. WP Lee has taken out Jib with a Claymore posthumously. And Cooper in a 1 versus 2 against El Conquistador and GK David. Has to grab that bomb and plant it or just eliminate the opposition. That's what they've got to do to win. Cooper in this scenario. Now just looking for this bomb plant, looking for the kills to be made. And there it is, Cooper gonna fall, lying by EOD, gonna win that search and destroy 6-3. I will say it was relatively close towards the end. There was some great comebacks from JHL 2020, but unfortunately for them, again, I felt like they kind of relied a little bit too heavily on Ublio's performance, and I would like to see something better from the other team, rest of the team here, as we move into map number 2. But a great performance there from aligned by EOD. Everybody on the squad was turning up when they needed to. Special shout out to GK David and Jib, who got 11 and 9 kills respectively. But a great map 1 performance there from aligned by EOD. Again, a very impressive team. They seem to know what they're doing. I suspect they've watched a little bit of the Call of Duty League, which is probably where they've got some of those strategies from. And again, if you guys want to watch the Call of Duty League, it's on basically now every 2 weekends, I think, for the home series events. They're now back online. Of course, challenges is also a thing, which they're doing every weekend. So if you guys want to watch that, the COD League YouTube channel is probably the place to go to subscribe. That being said, right now here in the Agency Showdown, this has been a great showing in map number 1 from aligned by EOD. Now though, map number 2. I kind of want to see a bounce back here from JHL 2020, and it's not outside the realms of possibility. For those of you guys who have been in the stream since the very beginning of today's showing, you will of course remember the very start of the stream when Mindshare Battlers and Flickr went head-to-head on map number 1. It was Backlot, and Mindshare Battlers came out and they 6-0'd Flickr, and I thought there was no hope for them whatsoever. Second maps, third map, went all the way to round 11. Flickr won both and ended up taking the series 2-1. So there is a lesson to be learned there that it's not over until the fat lady sings, supposedly. That's how the old phrase goes, and I think it definitely applies here, that this is not over until a round number 6 is won, until a 2-0 or a 2-1 win has happened. And talking about Taoiseach Backlot, well, that's where we're going for the next map in the series here. Of course, it is now aligned by EOD. 1-0 up in this one. They win this map, they take the series, they move on to the next round of the tournament, which takes place next week. JHL has a lot riding on this. It is single elimination, so they lose this, they're eliminated. Let's see what they can do. Of course, JHL 2020 now going to start on offense once again, just as they did before. Aligned by EOD. Here, go straight towards A to defend the site. UW with the bomb in hand. Makes the first move forward. L0 though. Pre-aims that outing. UW now being out of the round. That could spell trouble for JHL 2020. Jib going to follow up with another kill, and now it's just down to WP Lee 28. And a 1 versus 3. Goes for the hip-fire shots. Not many of them are going to connect. And now aligned by EOD, starting just as strong as they left off, with a 1-0 series advantage. Aligned by EOD, now 1-0 up, as we said. Back on the defense they go, and JHL 2020, they're going to reassess their strategy here. First round they went towards A, now they're looking towards a B here. There is one player they're going to have to get past, GK David, in the mid-map. Of course, Dead Silence won't really have been earned by many players here, if anybody at all, so they will be heard, and there it is. Cooper going to take out GK David. That's really, I think, what they needed to do to get control over that B site. Bomb now going to be going down, and that's going to reduce the timer down to 45 seconds. 5 seconds of that has to be reserved. And tell you what, WP Lee, is very, very good with these claymores. The placement has earned him a fair few kills across map 1 and now map number 2, but it is El Conquistador in a 1 versus 3. Has picked up the first kill, so now it's just down to Cooper and WP Lee. Shots going into Cooper. El Conquistador not going to be able to connect to that, and again, yeah, said it already, they need to reserve 5 seconds of time for the defuse. El Conquistador has to just jump on the bomb, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it in time. Cooper gets more shots in, it's going to force El Conquistador away. And this round is already JHL's 2020, regardless of whether or not El Conquistador is able to pick up these last 2 kills. But Cooper, I feel like she might be able to close it out with those nades. Fortunately not, but it will be JHL and a bit of a messy defense that end up coming out on top of that one. Now, though, aligned by EOD. Again, same kind of strategy. This is exactly what happened in round number 1. El Conquistador pre-aimed that line of sight. And Cooper, though, going to get away with nade kill onto El Conquistador as they try to get away from the engagement. And now GK David and Jib left up in a 2 versus 3 hit. Seems like this map, Taoiseach Backlot, really throws a fair few teams off. Aligned by EOD, they don't seem all that comfortable on it, and UW takes out GK David. It's just down to Jib now in a 1 versus 3. Has just chosen a site to stick to. What's going off for Jib with this M4, and none of them going to connect though. Stims themselves for the re-challenge. Of course, no dead silence to work with too. Jib going to go straight back to A, and it is a 50-50 check. Unfortunately, 50-50 isn't the right call to make. The bomb is now going down at B, and for a second there, I kind of felt like JHL may have just rotated or gone straight for the kill. Jib now. 35 seconds to retake this site. Have to get past one player who is in a power position in the mid-map. But if anything here, the problem I feel for Jib is that they've got to take out all of these players, essentially. Runs right into the line of sight of Ubliu, and surely Jib is not going to close out this one. Surely not, no. It's not going to happen. JHL are going to take round number 3. And that is a great start from JHL, I will say. They seem a lot more assured here on Tausig Batlock. Ubliu closes things out with the M4A1 variant. Now aligned by EOD, switching sides here as they are now the ones on the offense. And I believe this is actually a riot shield coming out as a secondary from GK David. That means that overkill has been enabled for this player. And this is a strategy we haven't seen thus far. The riot shield is going to provide some cover. This is classic Call of Duty. And oh, dearie me, it doesn't work out. The 725 tags them as GK David puts it away mistakenly at the wrong time. Ubliu going to finish that one. Jib gets dicey there. Involved into a fight. Second kill to be made, and this has just been a very quick turnaround in the round. WP left up in a 1 versus 2. Does get the first kill. For El Conquistador, though, pushing straight for it. El Conquistador puts the shots in, and from afar, WP Lee here throws a smoke down, and it works. It just throws El Conquistador off, and what a perfect 1 versus 2 clutch there from WP Lee. Gets the first kill, plays the second perfectly. Doesn't get over aggressive, I think, is the point. And I feel like El Conquistador might have just got a little bit aggressive there. Now they're aligned by EOD. They don't seem anywhere near as confident as they did in map number 1. JHL 2020. What they do in this scenario is once again GK David with that riot shield. Looking for the entrance. A great thermite from Cooper, or from GK David onto Cooper, sorry. Is going to close out First Blood in favor of aligned by EOD. JHL, though, going to even the odds here as WP Lee takes out El Conquistador. A very aggressive El Conquistador at that. Jib puts the odds back in aligned by EOD's favor, and now you see WP Lee in a 1 versus 2. Up top, though, it is going to be aligned by EOD that close out the round. Aggressive play from Jib, who is actually on point with these stims. Certainly knows when to use them. Now we're going to see JHL hit. 3-2 up, the last offensive round for aligned by EOD. Straight towards A. One of the, I think, more favoured bomb sites on this map, to be honest with you. And this riot shield, it enables aligned by EOD to get into the bomb site pretty much without any worries. A stun being thrown out by one player, though. El Conquistador is going to play on that bait so well. Elsewhere, though, Ubliu has taken out Jib. And again, that's so unfortunate. GK David has the riot shield, but doesn't protect when it's on your back. And JHL 2020 now going to be 4-2 up in this search and destroy off a great retake. And again, this is one of those problems with the riot shield. It's when you have it out, you kind of have a tendency to over-rely on it. And that seems to be the case with GK David right now. They put it away, and it is so problematic. The amount of advantage, though, for JHL 2020, as I said, they look a lot better here on this map than they did in game number 1. They seem to have silenced Jib somewhat as well. Of course, you've got to remember that he finished that map 1, as did GK David. Very positive in terms of KD. Now, though, aligned by EOD, need to strike first in this round, and they do. El Conquistador takes down Cooper without any qualms. And now JHL 2020 going to have to find some form of response. Ubliu WP Lee looking for it. Blue not going to find it. GK David takes their head off, and now it's WP Lee in a 1 versus 3 bomb in no man's land. Can actually catch El Conquistador off guard, and they will do. So there's the first call made, and there's a wealth of time to work with here as well if you are WP Lee. But again, there is still that problem with the bomb being down in the mid-map. GK David and Jib doing a wonderful job of defending it. WP Lee almost able to get away from that one despite being faced down by 2 aligned by EOD players, but it's not going to matter in the end. It is aligned by EOD that will take the round. Jib up close and personal, going to win that gunfight with the MP5. And now it is going to be JHL on the offense once again. Round number 8 here. Aligned by EOD. Have actually picked the right bomb site to defend. A portable radar now, I believe, coming in from, oh my goodness, El Conquistador. He lines them up. Picks up 3 kills right off the start of that round. And that is a positioning that I do not think JHL expected whatsoever. That's a positioning I haven't seen before on backlot. Surprising even me, El Conquistador. M4A1 shots on point 2, and that is a clean sweep that will absolutely knock the socks off JHL 2020. El Conquistador, what a play that was, showing up, and actually the weakest player in map number 1, showing up here as the best player for Aligned by EOD. That's the kind of performance that you want. Now, Conquistador going to try it again to gain the advantage in this round. Portable radar coming in. Could catch WP Lee off guard. Instead just going for the jump up. Maybe going to catch them off guard in an entirely different manner. Of course, there is a line of sight to be had if it just checks over the wall. But I think JHL 2020, they are playing this one extremely cautiously. They do not want to give up anything to El Conquistador. And GK David, who is close to, aligned by ED, have already caught them off guard once in the prior round. JHL moving up the map here. Oubliou and Cooper again playing this one very cautiously. It is GK David. It is the player that's going to catch them off. And there is the first shot, but it's not going to finish off. Goes for both kills. And it doesn't amount to anything, unfortunately. Oh, dearie me. But it is going to be aligned by ED that win the round. JHL 2020 reduced down to just 1 member. Cooper can't handle it. Those shots from El Conquistador turns and burns for the second fight. Now though, there's going to be JHL 2020 on the defense once again. Now, they've made a 50-50 choice to go straight to B. Unfortunately for them, that is not where the bomb site has gone. Straight to A, sorry. Aligned by ED have essentially a free plant over towards this B site. How quickly JHL 2020 react to this is going to be crucial because there is 45 seconds on the clock now. JHL 2020 essentially need to sprint over towards that side of the map. GK David actually in a position where this is entirely visible from that very long line of sight. Going to be watching out, providing some information here. Thermite nade going out from Oubliou, not going to connect, and GK David's right shield, if anything, is just drawing attention towards them. 20 seconds now left on the clock. Half of the time has fallen away from JHL 2020. He's doing this one-on-one, does against Oubliou, and now JHL, this defense is falling apart, and it doesn't matter because aligned by EOD when it matters. Clutch up, and they are going to be taking this one 6-4. And of course, the overall series 2-0. You're going to see El Conquistador end up, I believe they actually may have just got 3 kills once again, so definitely the MVP, and that's going to be reflected 13-5. What a performance from El Conquistador there in map number 2. And of course, followed up by a great performance from map number 1 from GK Davis and Jib. So a great team there, actually, I feel. One of the best I've seen so far in this Agency Showdown is going to be aligned by EOD, our 7th team making it through to the round of 16. Congratulations to them, a 2-0 performance and a very well played search and destroy performance. At that. For now, though, guys, we're going to take a quick break before moving into our next match of the night. It's going to be Des CK against Cloud of Duty, whatever that means, whatever. I don't know. Regardless, though, guys, we're going to be back after this break. Don't go anywhere. And we're back now with the Activision Blizzard Media Agency Showdown. Of course, we're 3 matches deep into our set of matches tonight, and that means we already have 3 teams that are making it through to the round of 16. So far, the Mindshare brothers, Reckitt, and Aligned by EOD have made their way into the round of 16, but we still have 2 spots left in that round of 16 to share out tonight, and the next matchup is going to be DES versus Cloud of Duty. These 2 teams, of course, will be fighting out for the 4th and penultimate spot to be giving out tonight in this tournament. Now, of course, if you guys are just joining us, maybe you don't know the format of this Agency Showdown. It is a 32-team tournament, single elimination all the way through, and every single match is best of 3. In this kind of format, of course, all of these matches played on Search and Story, every single map, has provided some incredibly tense maps. I think we've gone to round 11 like 5 or 6 times now, which is pretty cool. Everyone loves a round 11. Those situations are extremely tense, and we've seen some great gameplay too. I mean, you know, some of these teams, I wouldn't be surprised if they played competitively. They are pretty good. That being said, of course, we have had a variation of gameplay. Everything from high-level strategies, from people that have sort of played with the meta, with the MP5, with the M4A1s, to people who maybe have tried out new weapons. I mean, I say new, like the AK-47, the Growl, which is still pretty good, but mixing up the metal. I mean, we just saw even a Riot Shield, right? So we've had some pretty good gameplay thus far. That being said, guys, I will say, if you guys want to talk about the action on Twitter, you can do so with the hashtag Agency Showdown. And of course, if you want to subscribe to the Activision Blizzard Media YouTube channel, you can do so, and you will therefore get a notification every single time that we go live over the next few days with all of this Call of Duty action. For now, though, it is going to be our penultimate series of the night. Once again, it is DES versus Cloud of Duty, and we're kicking things off in map number 1 with Crash. Now, again, for those of you guys who maybe don't know what Crash is, there's a map. It is a map that is one of the 2 maps, I guess, in this rotation, I should say, that is entirely remastered from Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It is a very old map, and it plays so beautifully, especially in Search and Destroy, which is just perfect, considering Search and Destroy is the game mode in which we're going to be watching today. So it's going to be great. I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to see some great Call of Duty action here as we get into map number 1. And again, I just want to call out, I think we've got like 7 teams overall, and I'll just take a moment to call out which teams have already got through. So yesterday, we actually saw the off patterns, we tried, Agency Life, and the Inner Circle making it through. There were a number, again, of close affairs in those 4 matches. Today, thus far, we've had the Mindshare brothers, Reckitt, and Aligned by EOD making it through to the next round. So congratulations to the 7 teams we have so far. This is going to be the 8th spot. By the end of this matchup, we will have half of the field for the round of 16 already through to the next round. That's an exciting prospect in itself. So I'm very excited to see what happens as we get into this next series, because again, as I said, there have been a number of players thus far that have absolutely surprised me in this tournament. I mean, I didn't know what to expect coming into this, whether or not we were going to see sort of very high-level gameplay from a number of hidden gems that maybe could even play in challenges in the Call of Duty League, or even maybe future Call of Duty League stars, who knows. Or maybe we just see some new gameplay. But to be honest with you, I think what we've seen so far has been pretty impressive. Some of the clutch plays that I've seen from teams, I mean, everybody who has played in this tournament should be incredibly proud of themselves. And of course, it is a very nice thing that this tournament does exist at the end of the day too, right? I mean, the fact that we're all kind of inside, we're all kind of stuck here on lockdown, it's nice for us to be able to play this tournament and have a little bit of fun as co-workers. So without any further ado, I think map number 1 is going to be getting underway any second now. Again, it is going to be Crash, a remake of the original map from Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It does look so stunning in the 2019 Modern Warfare title, and it plays just as well as it did way back in 2007. So I'm very excited to get this one underway. Crash is, again, you know, I'll be honest, I'm a pretty young person, so I wasn't around when, at least I wasn't playing Call of Duty when Modern Warfare COD 4 first came out. So I never understood the hype until I actually played Modern Warfare Remastered in 2016. And then I understood it very much so. It's a very fun map to play. That being said, DES right now, straight through the mid-map here. This is pretty big aggression from them. The Scar picks up the first blood, traded right back here from Wix, who gets an incredible 2-piece right off the start of this one, looking for the third. Tomsky the potential victim. Tomsky's going to be backing away right to the spawn, and I love this cover from Wicks, of course. The bomb is down over on the B site, and that means that Tomsky's going to have to cross Wicks' path to get to it. Oh my goodness, Tomsky turns and burns onto Wicks there. That's a gunfight that Wicks should win 9 out of 10 times. K-Smith already out of the round, and that means it's down to Mully in a 1 versus 2. Has the weaponry for the situation, the 725. And the site for 15 more seconds. Tomsky's going to throw an 8 towards the site or the aggression, but I think time really not on Tomsky's side here. As soon as it crosses 5 seconds, there's not enough time for a defuse, and that means Mully has successfully defended this site, perfectly played, and gets Tomsky as well, who mistakenly walks right in front of the exploding site as it goes off, and that's a great start there from Cloud of Duty. Now though, it's going to once again be Cloud of Duty on the offense. They were very lucky last round that Tomsky didn't pull off the 1 versus 3. C4 gets thrown out by Mully, and what a perfect C4 that was. Had no idea where Desi were. It was essentially a Hail Mary of a C4. Bomb now going to be planted by Mully. Has the support from Wicks, not for long though, as Annan takes him down. Now Mully in the same position as they were previously. Gonna even use the lean feature with the shotgun. Surely I've just seen Anon at the window, and there it is. Works out perfectly. It's now down to Novachrome 96. Now 1 versus 2. Not gonna matter. That 725 is so strong, and that is a great positioning as well. Mully knows how to play that so perfectly. Pre-aims through the window. There's only really one place that Novachrome can come from. And Mully gonna clutch up once again. Previously a 1-on-1 that they won. 1v2 now. There's 1. Now Cloud of Duty have started this search and destroy very strongly. DesCK are gonna have to respond relatively quickly. Not they're gonna be in trouble, and surely not. The Hail Mary once again from Mully. This time it just connects with a hit marker. Nothing solid. Mully though with the 725 looks to get this first kill. It doesn't actually happen. As a matter of fact, Anon actually manages to entry into the site. And I think if you're Cloud of Duty here, I would like to see you maybe rotate this bomb over towards B. That would be the high-level play. Fortunately, though, now that might not be as possible. K-Smith out of the round. Anon has full control over A, and Mully is stuck right in the mix-up. First kill is made. Claymore, C4 thrown out. Novachrome going to take Mully down, and that's a 1-on-2. Wicks returns the first. But Anon is sitting there pre-aiming the entry. I've seen this before somewhere. Mully was doing it in the previous round, but that was on the defense. Wicks knows they have to retrieve this bomb. Oh my goodness, what Call of Duty timing. Wicks goes to check the spot at the wrong time. Anon has already moved, and oh my god, Wicks. This is surely not going to happen. Wicks turns, oh my god, Anon able to get the kill. DesCK going to get their first round in this one. A firefight on the roof goes their way. Cloud of Duty. Now though, are 2-1 up. As we switch sides, they now go on the defense. Let's see what DesCK can do. Nobody likes this B-bomb site right now, and I will say there is a fair reason for that. That is because it is inside, essentially right next to the spawn of Cloud of Duty. With DesCK in the previous round. Now they might looking for these first kills. As a matter of fact, Kismic has been able to come right through the mid. Wicks responds with 2, and that is a very quick defensive pull from Cloud of Duty. Straight through the mid-map. I don't think DesCK were expecting that whatsoever. As a matter of fact, Wicks has enough time to go for a full flank with the M401. Cloud of Duty now on the defense. Once again, playing this just as aggressively. I think DesCK, though, are expecting that full flank once again. And it will happen. K-Smic is going to try it. Sorry, Wix is going to try it, but it doesn't matter. The trap is sprung. Not very effectively. Wix is able to pull off 2 kills before finally getting traded off, and now it's down to Annan in a 1 versus 2. Walks right into the alleyway. K-Smic has surely seen him. Has to be very careful, K-Smic himself, though, that they don't bail themselves out with the footsteps. Check that left corner, and Annan is right there. They're going to check it. K-Smic wins the fight. And that is perfectly played from Cloud of Duty. DesCK now 4-1 down in this search and destroy. And I really love the way Cloud of Duty is playing this one. Almost perfectly. And I do like the adaptation from DesCK, the adaptation of the play. Cloud of Duty, though, are wise to it. A beautifully flung nade towards the car bomb takes out Tomsky, and now Novachrome and Annan left up in a 2 versus 2. The latter has already picked up 1 kill in this round. K-Smic down for the Cloud of Duty side. But again, this is one of those situations where, unfortunately, you've taken out the weakest player. Now, though, Wix is down. That's the best player gone. Mully left up. 1 versus 2. And what Mully is doing right now is banking on this A push from DesCK. Really, no, you've got to question whether or not that is going to be an A push at all. It's 50-50, and I feel like given where DesCK are on the map right now, it will be a B push. It'll be around here for DesCK. I don't know if they're even sure of this one. I feel like that's the problem. Mully is going to pick up the kill onto Annan. And Novachrome now left up in a 1 versus 1 hit. Mully versus Novachrome. Novachrome 1 and 5. Mully having a much better performance in the search and destroy so far. And Mully has a lot of room to look around this map. I think now has decided this may not be an A push. Still sticking by it. Just in case. Novachrome playing this one rather slowly, but only has 35 seconds left to plant this bomb. You have to go for it sooner or later, but finally is going to do so. No, surely not going straight to A. I don't even know what Novachrome's doing. There we go, finally straight towards the B site. As Novachrome is going to plant the bomb. That's going to force Mully to go for a rotation any second now. Dead silence has been popped for this rotation. Believed it just spot Novachrome, but maybe Novachrome's going to get some Call of Duty time in here as they climb the ladder. Mully throws out a C4, and I'm sure as hell here that Mully is not going to check that roof. He does. The C4, though, doesn't connect, and unfortunately, I think for Mully, that will sign that this is not going to be a roof positioning for DesCK, and Mully is checking every other spot, and I think they're going to be very frustrated when they realise where Novachrome is. 5 seconds left. Your best bet is to just jump on the bomb. Novachrome, check the bomb. Check the bomb, Novachrome. No way. And Mully just jumps on the defuse. Nova, you can't plant the bomb without checking it. And DesCK able to win that one-on-one engagement now on map point here in game number 1. Deary, deary me. I do feel very bad there for DesCK, but unfortunately Novachrome just doesn't check the bomb, and that does come back to bite them at the end of the round. Now Cloud of Duty haven't even picked up bomb just yet in this round. They expect an aggressive push from DesCK, kind of uncharacteristic of DesCK. I'm not entirely sure why that call was made. Doesn't work out too, as Annan takes down Mully. Wix now with the sniper rifle in hand, looking for the kills. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get anything just yet. K-Smic still convinced that there is some aggression coming up from DesCK. And again, I will say this. I feel like this is entirely unwarranted from Cloud of Duty. They're 5-1 up. I know they have a lot of room for error, but this is a pretty big one if you ask me. K-Smic now. 1 versus 3 clutch. In the scenario, Novachrome, Tomsky, and Annan have, well, the world is their oyster at the moment. K-Smith in this 1 versus 3, to be honest. I don't even know what you do with this situation. Technically speaking, the B site is open, but it's just such an unpreferable site that you do not want to go to it ever. And look at K-Smith as well. I will say one thing for sure, K-Smith has a heartbeat sensor in their back pocket, and they're just not using it. I feel like if they use that, they would be able to see at least where a couple of DES-CK players are. Now though, K-Smith more decidedly makes their way towards the B site. They figured out that it's uncontested. And with 15 seconds left, that is the play. It is going to get planted uncontested. I don't think anybody from DES-CK is going to react to this anytime soon. Cloud of Duty goes for this bomb. There it is. Bomb planted at B. 45 seconds now to defend this bomb, and they are going to get swarmed sooner or later. Finally, the heartbeat sensor comes out from K-Smith. Now it's a question of how do they defend this bomb, or how well do they defend this bomb. There's the first kill. Second surely coming from behind. There it is, actually. Now the challenge anytime soon from this player that is unfortunately up top. Goes down for the defuse. K-Smith surely not the 1 versus 3 clutch. Oh, jeez. That is such a good clutch from K-Smith to close out a dominant search and destroy from Cloud of Duty. 6-1 performance. They end up taking the win here in map number 1 on Crash. And what a 1 versus 3 to close it out as well. A clutch from K-Smith. Took a while to realize that there was a bomb site 3. Flick of a switch. And they run straight towards the site. End up winning a 1 versus 3 clutch. What a win there for Cloud of Duty. A great performance. And I think they'll be very, very proud of that one to kick off the series. Again, I'll be honest in saying I think there were a couple of situations there where DES-CK didn't really look like they were making the right calls, the right decisions to make. And Cloud of Duty just outplayed them in every single scenario, essentially. I think apart from one round in which DES-CK, I think they were able to win the very first round. So great stuff for them to win that, but they'll need a better performance here on map number 2 if they do not want to get 2-0'd and be removed from the tournament here in just 2 maps. So our second map is about to get underway. It is going to be St. Petrograd Search and Destroy. Again, if you guys are just joining us and maybe you haven't heard me say it before, but St. Petrograd is a Call of Duty League map. So this is a map that is in the competitive Call of Duty rotation. This is a map in which the pros play. So I've seen it played tons, absolutely tons. I've seen every single strategy that you can imagine. But hey, maybe I'll see some new ones here from either Cloud of Duty or DES-CK. I certainly think the latter is going to need it against Cloud of Duty here. One thing I will say is all of the players in Cloud of Duty, I think this is probably the most solidified team I've seen so far in the tournament. All of the players, they look good, they look to know what they are doing, and they seem to have some sort of, I guess, grasp of advanced strategy here in this game. So we'll see whether or not DES-CK can come back. But as I said earlier on, do not count any teams out in this tournament. You know, I'll pull it back right to that very first map of today's matches, where the Mindshare battlers ended up winning map number 1 6-0, and then they lost maps number 2 and 3 around 11 both times. I mean, if they're in the chat, I'm sorry guys. You know, I don't want to rub it in, but you lost, and it was very, very close affair on those last 2 maps. So do not count DES-CK out of this whatsoever. They could have some tricks up their sleeve that we just don't know about. That being said, guys, I believe St. Petrograd is about to get underway. Search and destroy for map number 2. Once again, all of the maps throughout this tournament are going to be search and destroy. So any of you Call of Duty League fans out there that watch it on the COD League YouTube channel, all the pros play. Unfortunately, there is no hard point, no domination for this tournament. It is search and destroy, classic Call of Duty here in the tournament. That is going to be played. That being said, now we're going to be getting into St. Petrograd again. It is a competitive Call of Duty map, and in this map in particular, it is actually the A site that is preferred. It is the easier to get to when you're on defense or on the offense. And for defense, actually, it is technically speaking the easiest to defend. So expect a lot of A pushes here, but it is going to be DES-CK straight on the defense. Cloud of Duty. Let's see if there's any sniper rifles coming out. I don't think they actually need it, but they will have one. Mully with the HDR looking to get some early picks. Split it out a couple of players. The shot goes in, and Mully is going to win that fight against Novachrome. The head comes off. DES-CK don't really look all that sure about what to do here early on in this round, but they have taken off a very aggressive Wix early on. Cloud of Duty now 2 versus 2 scenario. K-Smick and Mully looking for the kills. Now, one thing I will say is K-Smick and Mully, they are a little bit separated here in this map. So Des CK, they do have a chance, at the very least, to get this bomb down. They still have a little bit of time to work with as well. 50 seconds here as Tomsky and Annan make their way towards A. They have to be careful because K-Smick is the final boss of this site. Heartbeat sensor to work with, will be well aware of this push from Des CK and is pre-aiming for it too. Bomb now going down. K-Smick going to stop the bomb plant from happening. Throws a Semtex out. It's not going to connect with Tomsky, not immediately at the very least. Tomsky now going to plant that bomb down. But it is in a 1 versus 2. Surely K-Smick catches Tomsky here. Actually, no, not for now. I think maybe the right play to make would be for K-Smick just to wait out, but the heartbeat sensor is going to reveal the location of Tomsky towards the back of the boxes. The shots go in, unable to finish out the kill. Mully just going to jump on the defuse. K-Smick going to be covering with the M4 up top, and there's the kill from Mully. As Cloud of Duty are going to finally take the round. Start this search and destroy off 1-0. Sorry, not the M4, but still Tomsky. Starts this one relatively strong. Almost wins a 1 versus 2 there, but unfortunately not going to be able to crack that one. There's Des CK now. Oh, and 1 to kick things off once again. As soon as they get down this mid-map, they do have to deal with the sniper rifle of Mully, I believe. Mully has their eyes set onto Annan. Now Wix in the mid-map gets involved in a fight against Novachrome. Fires off a wayward shell of 725. Novachrome not going to be worried about eating that anytime soon. Mully though, a great snipe onto Tomsky. That's going to make this finally a 3 versus 2. Cloud of Duty get a second as well. Mully switches with Overkill. The perk that enables you to have 2 primary weapons, in this case the HDR and the MP5, and looking for the final kill. Mully surely going to find it onto Novachrome, and they do. And Cloud of Duty now 2-0 up. These are rather slow St. Petrograd search and destroy rounds, but it seems like it is just being Cloud of Duty playing this one very slowly, very methodically. They do not want to make any mistakes here. Des CK now with bomb in hand. Once again for their 3rd and final offensive push before we see the switching of sides. Looking to be aiming for a B push here. Be careful though. Annan makes his way right to the B side, gets tagged from behind, but K-Smick is going to be able to take him down posthumously after dying, sorry, to Novachrome 96. Des CK's push now to be towards the B site has been stunted somewhat. Cloud of Duty now here, ready for this, and Mully up close and personal with the boomstick takes down Novachrome. It's now just down to Tomsky, 1 versus 2 with the M4 in hand. Mully up top. I don't really know what the aim of that sniper shot is. It's not going to connect anything but the bronze statue in mid-map. Trying to go for the wall bang here, gets it with the quick scope, and a clean round there for Mully as Cloud of Duty able to start this 3-0. What a great performance, Mully here. You're going to see it. The snipes are perfect. Now we switch sides once again. I said every 3 rounds is when we're going to switch sides here in Search and Destroy with a casual rule set. Cloud of Duty and now on the offense. And this is where I expect things to quicken up quite a lot, because I feel like Cloud of Duty are going to be a lot more assertive with their offensive pushes. Now, I love this from K-Smic early on in the round. Doesn't quite have a sniper rifle to work with, but at the very least does get up top onto the top of the pool hall, and therefore garner some information as to where these Dead CK players are on defense. But the shots aren't really going to connect with anything, to be honest with you. K-Smic put some shots down, has to get away with their life. I believe the player may have just lagged out, actually. So Wick's no longer in this game. Cloud of Duty in a 2 versus 3 permanently. It's not going to matter for Mully, though. 8-0 start in this Search and Destroy, looking for a number 9. Novachrome, the next name on the hit list for Cloud of Duty, and it's going to end up getting that first kill on Mully, but surely a trade from K-Smic comes in, and it does. And Cloud of Duty now find their 4th round here on St. Petrograd. They're looking even better than they did on Crash. Start again from Mully. Again, this is still a 2 versus 2 for, or it was a 2 versus 3, I should say, from Cloud of Duty. But Mully, who has had an incredible Search and Destroy here, now needs to get an ace in this one to keep it flawless. Bomb in hand. This is entirely still possible. Now going to pop Dead Silence, of course, the special ability that they have chosen to make their way towards the B site. I don't think anybody on Dead CK is really going to know about this whatsoever. Cloud of Duty making our way towards the B site. Just Mully here, the last remaining player for Cloud Duty. A wealth of time to work with. Now, I kind of like this from DesCK, to be honest. They've stuck to their guns. They have decided they are going to defend the A-bomb site pretty much solely. Now Mully, though, gets the bomb down uncontested at B. You're going to see these DesCK players rotate towards the B site. Mully, prepared for it, has the sniper rifle in hand. I'm interested to see how quickly do DesCK respond to this. Now up close and personal do they get. Mully going to switch weaponry to the MP5. Much better for the gunfights that you'd be taking at this range. Gets the first, gets the second. That's a beautiful 1 versus 2 clutch from Mully. And Cloud of Duty now just 1 round away from making this a perfect Search and Destroy performance. Mully takes down Tomsky for the final kill. This has been a brilliant S&D from Cloud of Duty. Not so much from DesCK, but there is only so much this squad can do when Cloud of Duty are playing like this. Now, Cloud of Duty, 5-0 start here. K-Smic and Mully. Once again, still in a 2 versus 3. Wicks, unfortunately, still not in the game. DesCK here in a 3 versus 2. They've still got the numbers advantage early on. Mully seems pretty confident there is going to be a player pushing them. Sun goes out, completely unaware that Annan is right to the left. I don't even know if Annan is fully aware of what's going on. Still going to push. Mully drops down and manages to get away, flies towards the mid-map. Annan completely unaware, and now Cloud of Duty starting to make this push towards B. They could take out 1 player on their way. That would just be great. And oh no, I think a Harrier is about to come in from Mully. It's going to be an airstrike right here. Cloud of Duty get it down. 50 seconds. The bomb being planted now for Mully. Wicks is back in this game. The Harrier now going to be defending the B site, but they've got to be careful because well, he's taken down K-Smic, but Mully's Harrier is doing a lot of damage to both of these players. Left up, Mully letting the Harrier do all the work for him, but Mully has to be careful actually. There's 1 player in the window, and Novachrome almost punishes Mully there. Mully doing the right thing, going to rotate over towards A, and I don't even know if the Harrier is going to stop that kill. Finally it will, and Cloud of Duty is going to finish this one 6-0. What a great start there from Cloud of Duty. And I've got to say, Mully did it all. Finishes, I think, with about 13 kills. That VTOL Absolutely deadly, and that is why that streak is so powerful. 14 kills, as a matter of fact, from Mug. That sniper rifle did it all. I did say previously when we saw Sage Petrograd yesterday that sniper rifle will be very powerful on this map, and they just proved why. What a performance there from Cloud of Duty. A very clean search and destroy performance here in our 4th match of the evening. That means that they are our 8th team overall to make it to the round of 16. So congratulations to Cloud of Duty as they make it to the next round of the Activision Blizzard Media Agency Showdown. For now, though, guys, that is going to be our 4th match done and dusted. We have one more match to come tonight. That's going to be between Paratroopers and the Strutton Country Ducks, which is a rather odd name. But regardless, I'm going to have fun casting that one. And we'll see you guys after the break. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Activision Blizzard Media Agency Showdown. Of course, we're on our fifth and final match of the night tonight. It's going to be Paratroopers against the Strutting Country Ducks. Again, one of the more creative names in the tournament. And no doubt I'm going to be having fun calling that one throughout this final match of the night. If you're just joining us here on the stream, you've missed some great Call of Duty Modern Warfare action, of course. Throughout all of these matches, we've been casting Search and Destroy best of threes, and we already have 8 teams. It's half of the field that have made it through to the round of 16. And just go through those teams that have got through so far: the Oft Patterns, We Tried, Agency Life, the Inner Circle, Mindshare Battlers, Reckitt, SHL, or Aligned by OED, sorry, not HL, and Call of Duty are the 8 teams that are through to this next round of play. Of course, that next round of play starts next week. So, of course, we already have half the field. But now it's time to move into the second half. We have our 9th and final match over the course of day 1 and day 2. It's going to take place right now. It's between the Paratroopers and, as I said, the Strutting Country Ducks. And this final match will decide that 9th place. So I think without any further ado, it's ready to go. Gunrunner Search and Destroy is going to be the first match, the first map of this best of 3, of course. And again, what that means for everybody at home is essentially that the first team to win 2 maps is going to be going through to the next round of play. All of these maps are Search and Destroy, and all of them will be best of 11 in terms of rounds. We'll be switching sides between offense and defense every 3 rounds for every single map. So whichever team starts on board on the offense first, that's what we'll be jumping on board with. And it is worth noting for Gunrunner very specifically that Gunrunner S&D is a very offensively heavy map. So we'll be seeing whichever team starts on offense first should have somewhat of an advantage. It is going to be Paratroopers, Wolfman with the bomb in hand, provided back up by Dozy Dan, hopefully not asleep for this match. And Infinite Insight going up against Wololo, Keely MM, and the Sternum Bush. All very creative names. I'd like to see the stories behind some of these Activision IDs. That being said, it's going to be a great start from Dozy Dan. Takes the head off the Sternum Bush, and now Wololo and Keely looking to make it a 2 versus 2. That they do, and it quickly becomes down to a 1-on-1 engagement. Dozy Dan looking for an ace in the round. An ace, of course, which means getting every single kill available in any given round. Against MM. The first shot's going the way of Keely, who has the better weapon for this scenario. The M4A1 is currently struggling to jump up onto the top of the trains. Takes so long to do it that it might just give Dozy Dan a little bit of positioning advantage, but it doesn't matter. Dozy Dan thinks that Keely is elsewhere, and the Strutting Country Ducks take round number 1. Keely going to close out first round with that M4A1. Has overkill, so I'm excited to see what kind of weapon they're going to be using in the back pocket. For now, though, we're right back with the Paratroopers on offense. Of course, this Paratrooper side looking to get their first round on the board. Strutting Country Ducks trying to deny. Great growl shots coming in from Wololo right off the start. Aggression from Strutting Country Ducks has been pretty good, but unfortunately, it is punished. Now Keely left up. Now 1 versus 2 scenario. Dozy Dan and Infinite Insight, the names on the hit list here for Keely. I think Keely here, at this point, you kind of got to make a decision. You got to say, well, I only got to defend one of these bomb sites. They have chosen the correct one. Paratroopers may be thinking that they've outplayed Keely in this scenario, but that isn't the case whatsoever. I think they may have just done in terms of the 1-on-1. As Keely decides to rotate over to B at the entirely wrong time, fails to see that Dozy Dan had made the push. And with that MP5, is going to pick up the kill. Tie this one up at 1-1. And again, both of these teams, they kind of seem in tune with the general meta of the game. I'm seeing M4A1s, I'm seeing MP5s. Nothing kind of out of the ordinary for these two sides at this point in time. So they must watch the Call of Duty League, or at the very least have be in tune with the meta somewhat, of course, because those are the 2 best weapons in the game as it currently stands. Now, though, Stratton Country Ducks putting all their defensive efforts into the A site. The Paratroopers here moving towards B. Can't be sensor in hand for Wolfman, and that'll provide the information that this beast bomb site is entirely free for an attack, or at the very least for a plant. Stratton Country Ducks putting all of their duck eggs in one basket, which is the A site. Now going to have to rotate over and cross paths with Dozy Dan, who gets that first blood onto Keeley. Wololo and the Stern and Bush now going to have to find a retake from somewhere. They need the first blood really to make this work. And Wololo puts some shots into a couple of players. Neither of those players going to fall, unfortunately, and now that first push is, if anything, just going to reveal the position of Wololo. Stern and Bush to the kills. Infinite Insight picks up one, Wolfman picks up the other, and a Paratroopers clean up shop rather quickly. And again, this is kind of why the offense is kind of heavily favored here. You can see the Paratroopers make their way towards the B site entirely uncontested. They were able to get the bomb down with more cover. And defending that is so easy when retaking it is as hard as it is. So, Stratton Country Ducks, despite starting this one with the first round win, unable to win any more past that. Paratroopers 2 rounds straight to take a lead. Now, although we switch sides, it's a Paratroopers on defense here. Stratton Country Ducks, they didn't get the memo that the B site is preferred. They've gone straight to A. Lolo with bomb in hand. They are going to have to worry about Wolfman up top, who is in, of course, that very common position with the M4A1. Going to give up positioning, actually. Infinite Insight coming from elsewhere to pick up first blood onto the Stern and Bush, and that will slow down this push towards A significantly for the Stratton Country Ducks. Lolo and Keeley here. Now just Keeley, one versus 3. Let's pick up the first kill. Unfortunately, takes a little bit too long to walk away for the second, and the Paratroopers are going to come out on top in that one. Now, though, Paratroopers, again, they've started this one with a great advantage. I've got to give a special shout out to Dozy Dan as well, has started this one 6-1 in terms of KD. 6 kills to their name, just 1 death. Peeks out the door from this locker room. Could catch Keeley off guard. Has to be careful, though, because the Stern and Bush is sitting in the positioning inside you. And oh my god, the patience on Dozy Dan not to just push this straight up. This is the right call to make. Stern and Bush, though, still has the positioning on Dozy Dan, and oh, Dozy Dan peeks out. Keeley going to come out on top, though. Again, you feel like the weaponry is better for Keeley, who has an M4 in hand. Going to stim shot themselves. Wololo picks up the Infinite Insight, and now it's down to Wolfman. 1 versus 3. Kicks that corner. Is surely going to get that kill onto the Stern and Bush. 20 seconds to retake this site, though. You really can't play apprehensively here whatsoever. You just got to jump on the defuse, and unfortunately for Wolfman, I think, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Wololo able to close out the round, and Stratton Country Ducks here are going to find their second in round number 5. Paratroopers now once again on the defense for the last round. Stratton Country Ducks, they have finally got the memo that the B-bomb site is the better one to choose, and they're going to get it down here almost uncontested. Dozy down, pulls that first blood off. Keeley stim shots for no reason whatsoever, apparently. No damage taken at all before getting that stim shot down. Stratton Country Ducks, though, making their move now to defend this site. Dozy Dan picks up the penultimate kill in the round. Stern and Bush falls to Infinite Insight. That's a great retake from the Paratroopers. Stratton Country Ducks really didn't know what to do on the defense. And I feel like, yeah, right, B is a better site to take and to defend, but you have to execute those defenses perfectly. And unfortunately, I don't think that's what happened there from the Paratroopers. M4 to close it out. Now, Switching sides in round number 7 here. It will once again be the Paratroopers on offense. See what they can do with it. So far, they've been ahead of this one. And in 2 offensive rounds, 2 defensive rounds. Let's see if they can keep that one up. If they do, they'll win this one rather easily. They do have to be careful. The Stern and Bush is defending the A site. They need to finish this kill. Infinite Insights puts the shots in. Finally finishes off their head. Peeking out of the boxes. And elsewhere, Wololo falls. So it is just down to Keely now. 1 versus 3. Emperor one in hand. Unable to pull any shots into Infinite Insight. Paratroopers now get their 5th round on the board. 5-2 up in this Search and Destroyer, looking pretty good. And I think the difference really is, again, it's just assertiveness. Those one-on-one situations in which the Paratroopers are just edging out these strutting country ducks. Paratroopers now move towards the A site here. It's going to be the heartbeat sensor in hand for Wolfman, just to try and get some information. A C4 being thrown out. It's not going to connect with anything. I think massively overestimating the range on the C4 throw. Wolfman now has been tagged heavily, and I feel like probably not going to get away with this one alive. Well, actually, has some great support from Infinite Insight as Wololo goes down, and that's one of the main threats for the Paratroopers here out of the equation. Wolfman has to get away, slides out of the picture for Stern and Bush, who is up top in a power position, and now it's just down to Keely once again. It's been lacking one too many 1-2-3s, I feel, in this game, and it comes down to a 6-2 win for the Paratroopers there. Great S&D performance. And the strutting country ducks, despite having some form there in that game, just not quite as good in map number 1 as the Paratroopers. You see Infinite Insight in the final kill cam, picking up that last kill and closing up shop. And again, the stats at the end of the game: 9 kills for Dozy Dan, 8 kills for Infinite Insight, the big players there for the Paratroopers. I've got to say it as well, Stern Bush, unfortunately 0-8. Maybe if he picks things up, it would have been an entirely different game, but not to be the case at all. I mean, there were some great positionings there from the strutting country ducks. None of them were executed all that well, though. And Paratroopers able to start things strong here with a 6-2 performance in map number 1. But you guys know what I'm going to say if you've been here on the stream. Don't count out the strutting country ducks just yet. You know, we're going to possibly come full circle here, of course, because if you were here right at the start, you would have seen there was a 6-0 performance by the Mindshare Battlers onto in game number 1. Also, I just realized I called it wrong earlier on that Mindshare Battlers are actually out of this, and it was Flickr who came back. It was just that 6-0 performance that was so incredible. Flickr actually did win that match against Mindshare Battlers. Regardless, though, that's the lesson I'm teaching you guys here, is that it was a 6-0 in map number 1 for Mindshare Battlers. They dominated Flickr. There was little to no response. And then, of course, in the latter 2 matches, Flickr came out swinging. They won in round 11 both times. And that's a lesson here, that do not count anybody out. Because they can still come back and perform. So that's what we kind of want out of strutting country ducks here. I want to see a fight back from them as we go into map number 2. That map, of course, will be Ramatsa, Search and Destroy. And again, you guys, again, if you've seen this stream, you'll know that I've already called Ramatsa as a very close quarters combat map. And, you know, this is where you're going to see those SMGs, the shotguns really come out to play. So this is kind of what we're going to be expecting here as we get into Ramatsa S&D. Now, again, because these guys are not changing sides, it will be the Paratroopers that we're starting off on offense. So they're the ones that have to put the first foot forward here. Now, B is the preferred site on Ramatsa Search and Destroy, so we'll see now whether or not that's where the Paratroopers go to, because, of course, you go to A, you have to deal with a potential player up top on construction. However, Paratroopers do move towards B, and they have no issues straight away. The heartbeat sensor from Wolfman is going to be revealing that Keely is close by. Now, I think Wolfman suspects that they're in the showers, but that's not the case at all. This bomb from Wolfman not going to get planted just yet. Keely now going to come out into the open as a 725 to be used. I don't know if overkill is on for Keely. We do know this bomb is now going to be planted. Keely, of course, the only player from the strutting country ducks can actually do anything about it. And they won't for now. Wolfman gets it down, uncontested. Keely now is going to run into the open. Unfortunately, Infinite Insight was on a head glitch. Keely down for the count, and now Wololo in the Stern Bush here. 2 versus 3 against Wolfman. Dozy down and Infinite Insight. Just Wololo now. 1 versus 3. Infinite Insight has had a great start to this game. The Desert Eagle kill onto Stern Bush for the second. And Wololo now being pushed from Infinite Insight. Wololo actually hears Infinite Insight running at him. Takes him down. Now Wololo trying to go for the 1 versus 3. Not going to happen. The second and third kills not presenting themselves. And the Paratroopers, very, very strong here. I'm loving what we're seeing from them. Now the Paratroopers hit. 1-0 up into this search and destroy. Australian Country Ducks are actually playing this rather well in terms of the defense. They've set themselves rather nicely to defend this B site and of course have some form of mid-map control. Stern and Bush has to win a fight, I feel, to get a full grasp on the map. What I will say though, the Australian Country Ducks, they put all their eggs in one basket once again. B-site control may have been secured, but it is the Paratroopers have sent themselves. Dozy down with the bomb in hand, aided by Wolfman, just trying to protect themselves, protect this bomb carrier, and make sure it goes down. Pretty much uncontested, of course. Paratroopers, though, they're getting aggressive. You see Infinite Insight now going to act here. Going to get right involved in the gunfight with the Stern and Bush. Infinite Insight wins that one with the Kilo. And now Wololo and Keely here, 2 versus 3. Oh, that was very quick. And the Paratroopers going to deal with the transferring players from B, and that is why on defense you do kind of have to spread your wings a little bit. Send players to both bomb site, otherwise you get caught out like that, and that's GG's. It's Wolfman. Able to close out the round. Now, flawless search and destroy so far from the Paratroopers. They've looked pretty good here. Let's see now what the Paratroopers can do. Straight towards B, and once again, I said it twice now, 2 rounds straight, the Strutting Country Ducks, they kind of need to spread themselves a little bit thinner across the map. They go straight towards A, and I kind of like it in a way. I mean, it's a certified push towards a bomb site. You know, if you're in a 3 versus 1, you're likely to, at the very least, at least get away with trading the kill. But Paratroopers able to plant the bomb down on B. Now, Strutting Country Ducks, they've already taken 1 player down. Infinite Insight, who has been the best player so far for Paratroopers, has got the most kills, but goes down, takes down Keely. Wolfman responds with another kill onto Stern and Bush, and this quickly has changed from a 3 versus 2 situation to a 1 versus 2 for Wololo. Running Country Ducks here, relying on Wololo, managing to get away with their life. Paratroopers now. Dangerous position. Wololo actually managed to get 1 of those kills, but there's not enough time, I feel, to get the kill and go for the defuse. Wololo knows it. Just going to back away to preserve your life, but that means Paratroopers will win a 3rd round straight here. Dozy down, able to successfully defend the bomb site. Paratroopers once again having a flawless triage of S&D rounds. No, the Strutting Country Ducks here on offense. Let's see what they can do with the bomb. Maybe they're better on offense. You know, it's Paratroopers have looked pretty good here. They seem to have Strutting Country Ducks number. Now, this is what you have to be careful of. I said there'll be a lone guardian over towards construction. In this case, it is going to be Paratroopers Dozy Dan covering for the defense. Strutting Country Ducks make their way towards the site. Dozy Dan enables Dead Silence to silently pounce onto the Stern and Bush. The shots go down. The kill. Oh, okay. Dozy Dan throws a C4 right in front of him. Bomb is now down, though. Dozy Dan going to surely go for the retake here. Gets the kill. And now it's just down to Keely in a 1 versus 3. Just has to defend this bomb. To be fair, has a 725 to work with and a stim shot to go. You think maybe there is potential to stop this, but unfortunately, Paratroopers just jumped straight under the defuse. Keely takes a little bit too long to pounce. And the Strutting Country Ducks here. Going to lose round number 4. Again, a flawless S&D here from the Paratroopers. Now, though, it's going to be the Paratroopers here, 4-0. Start from them. Strutting Country Ducks, unsure really what they're going to be doing in this one. Straight towards A. Once again, going to be dealing with Dozy Dan on the defense. What can Dozy Dan do? Picks up that first blood on to the sternum bush. Bomb now down in no man's land on the top of the A site. Wolfman gets a kill with the pistol. Wololo down for the count. And now, of course, Keely left up. Has to deal with a Predator missile. Dozy Dan going to take himself out of the action. Leaves Infinite Insight in a 1 versus 1. And the Strutting Country Ducks off the back of that blunder going to be able to take a round here in round number 5. I was kind of hoping that that kill would be the last one. But Keely is able to take the round win with the 725 shot. And the Strutting Country Ducks showing life here in the search and destroy on Ramasa. Remember, guys, this is a best of 3. Strutting Country Ducks being 1-0 down means that they are going to have to take this map and the next one to stay alive in the single elimination bracket. If they lose this map, they're out, and we will have the 9th team going through to the round of 16 being the Paratroopers. The Strutting Country Ducks, though, straight towards the B site. Keely picks up that first blood onto Wolfman. Paratroopers now 1 man down in this one, and the Strutting Country Ducks, they seem to have gained a lot of confidence from that round win. Keely strikes first, going to plant bomb, no problem. Insight now for the retake. Infinite Insight falls to a great shotgun kill from the sternum bush. Now Dozy Dan has to pull off a 1 versus 3 and get the defuse. This is a big ask of any player. Dozy Dan, can they do it? Well, there's the first kill onto Keely, but again, time really running out, you feel, in this one. And Wololo here. Going to be able to finish that round. Strutting Country Ducks, to be fair, they are definitely showing life in this tournament. 2 rounds straight. Paratroopers now need to find their footing once again, because the Strutting Country Ducks, as I said, 2 rounds in a row, maybe showing a little bit of confidence, and that's kind of what Paratroopers want to squash. They need to go aggressive onto this B site. Wolfman with the bomb in hand. Again, going with the earlier round strategies of just pulling out this heartbeat sensor to get an idea of where the Strutting Country Duck players are. Wolfman almost turns around on the Keely, but this is such great confidence out of the Strutting Country Ducks here. Dozy Dan in a 1 versus 3. Now, what can Dozy Dan do? Again, I'm getting a bit deja vu here. This is the second 1 versus 3 in a row, but the first kill is made onto Keely. Best player out of the action, Wololo and Sternum Bush, though. They know how to play Call of Duty. They've shown it. Dozy Dan gets involved in a gunfight up top. Sternum Bush is ready for it, and Strutting Country Ducks, they're on the comeback here. 3 rounds straight. The Paratroopers looking pretty good. But are they as good, and are they good enough to stop this comeback from the Strutting Country Ducks? That's the question, because the Strutting Country Ducks here, 3 rounds straight, they've looked pretty good. And I really love the confidence. I feel especially that Keely has had. I mean, the kills that that player has made time after time have been particularly important for this Strutting Country Ducks side. Paratroopers now, I feel, that need to get some confidence back in this one. The heartbeat sensor picks up all 3 players. Surely Wololo going to fall foul there. Infinite Insight going to take the kill onto Keely, and maybe now Paratroopers have refound their footing in this game. The Sternum Bush Tries to pull the 1 versus 3 off, but it's not going to happen. And Paratroopers now on map and match point here, being 5-3 up in the S&D. Now, Paratroopers moving forward towards A. They've got 3 chances to close out this search and destroy here in map number 2. Wolfman spots out 2 players in the heartbeat sensor. That call is going to be made towards the teammates. Dozy Dan acts on the information, picks up the first blood. Wolfman makes the call that there is a player in the mid-map. Keely is that player. Now on a 2 versus 3 again. I think the problems here for Keely and Sternenbush again is simply just the heartbeat sensor. Sternenbush might be actually better off just planting these claymores down around the A site, but that of course is not the target here. You can see Paratroopers making a rotation towards B on the minimap. Wolfman gets this bomb down, and that's going to reduce the timer down to 45 seconds here. Strutting Country Ducks, what can they do? Keely is going to make that first move forward. Surely Wolfman just snaps on this kill, and they do, and now it's down to Sternenbush. 1 versus 3 to save the tournament lives. Can Sternenbush pull off 3 kills here and get the defuse in 25 seconds? It's a massive ask for anybody, but the clutch is not going to happen. Paratroopers coming out on top, 6-3 performance. What a game there from the Paratroopers. And again, one of the teams that I would say has absolutely impressed me in this tournament. Paratroopers played that so perfectly. The dual 3-5-7s to close it out from Wolfman. And again, you look at the performances across the board. A rather good team effort. Wolfman and Dozy Dan, again, the best players. 7 and 9 kills respectively for Paratroopers. A special shout out to the Australian Country Ducks. They really tried there in those last 2 maps, but unfortunately it doesn't work out. And that means we have our 9th team moving on to the round of 16 here in the Activision Blizzard Media Agency Showdown. And again, just to run those teams through, we currently have the Off Patterns, We Tried, Agency Life, the Inner Circle, Flickr, Reckitt, Align by EOD, Cloud of Duty, and now the Paratroopers, who are through to the next round. Congratulations to the 9th team Paratroopers, as they are going to be moving on to the round of 16. But from myself here, Infinity, that is me done for the day, and that's the stream done as well. Our 5th and final match is underway, and we've given up our final spot in the round 16 in the Agency Showdown tonight. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Activision Blizzard Media YouTube channel, though. That's when you're going to be able to see all of this action across the next 2 weeks to find out who will become the champions of the Agency Showdown and win that beautiful trophy. For now, though, as I said, that's going to be me done for tonight. Make sure you're checking out Twitter, the hashtag Agency Showdown, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.